Hey guys, I'm back with another video. So it is a starting point of cybersecurity and I'm very excited to start this particular series, and it is quite near to my heart. Alright, so let's begin this video. So before beginning with any series, what I usually do is I ask one particular question that is quite important. Why particularly that subject? Alright, so I will again start with that particular question. Why cybersecurity in 2025? Alright, that's why this episode name is Why Cyber Now. It often seems that whenever you start doing something, it can be anything. It can be making YouTube channel, it can be making your own startup, it can be anything. Often it seems that rather than how to do it, the main question comes why to do it. If you are clear with your why, how becomes quite easy, because the main reason for starting anything lies behind the psychology of why you are doing it. Basically, you can attach that to your purpose, alright, the higher consciousness of yourself. Exactly, not everyone is doing it for money, or not everyone has their own reasons, right? So the biggest reason among themselves is the purpose, why exactly you are doing it. Alright, so this video will be little inclined towards the psychology behind taking this cybersecurity. Alright, I'll not be going too much in depth on techs. Alright, in this series we'll be looking at very much in depth on each and every topic. One by one we will be starting, but today's video is much important, because if you do not understand today's video, then your why will not be clear. Alright, so let's start. I will give you 10 reasons to start with cybersecurity in 2025. If you are not convinced with this video, it is your choice whether you to select. I would suggest you, if you are not convinced by this video, cybersecurity is not for you. Alright, you can go in any other field, but for this particular cybersecurity, it should be, your foundation should be very clear, and the why is the most important again. Alright, so let's start with that. The first reason, the job market is exploding. Alright, 90% people are doing because of job opportunities or because of to earn money. Alright, money has always been the one of the highest factor people are doing work for. Alright, so the job market is exploding. I would like to show you some website. Let's say cyber security jobs by Forbes, let's say. Alright, so you can see I am taking out the first website here. So it is again published by Forbes, not me. I'm not saying that. Alright, so it is a genuine one. Alright, so you can see here nearly 4 million cybersecurity jobs are vacant in 2025. It is of 2025. Alright, in the era of where people are not getting jobs, here cybersecurity jobs are quite vacant, because people are not skilled enough so that they can hire all those people. So you can just read it, okay? You can just go through this particular website. There are a lot of other websites that says how many jobs are vacant. So it's a quite high number, that I would say. Alright, that you can just do some research. Alright, so it is a very good opportunity for you. If you are starting your career with cybersecurity, then you must, job has always been the biggest factor why people are doing what they are doing. Alright, so you have to always keep that in mind, that whatever you are doing, is it valuable? Yes, it is quite valuable. The market has an opportunity for this cybersecurity field. Alright, so it is tick for this particular option. Next, AI has made cyber threats smarter. Alright, So in this particular generation of AI, everything is advancing, whether it be field of cloud computing, whether it be field of application building, web designing. Just like that, in cybersecurity also, people are using AI to make to create intelligent malware, deepfakes, or even automated attacks. Alright, so cybersecurity has been affected by AI, but again depends on which side of you are of cybersecurity. There are two sides, basically offensive and defensive. So there are again a part of it you have to understand, in particular artificial intelligence. That is, if you are in a defensive part, it will be helpful for you. Let's say you are defending some companies, so you can, AI is basically data driven, right? So you should have a lot of data in order to defend that. So there are a lot of datas available in the past, what kind of attacks have been happened and all. So in that particular field, AI will help you in defending defensive jobs. All right, but in offensive jobs where you need to initialize an attack and all, I'm not sure how much it is effective, as because for attacking any of the particular organization, you require a lot of new technologies, new knowledge. All right, so that's where AI lacks little bit, where it does not have any data, then it cannot provide you the correct data. So all right, it is totally data driven. So as technology evolves so much, defenders also have to evolve. All right, so cybersecurity isn't optional, it is nowadays essential skill. All right, that you have to understand, and AI will always help you out. You can always take the help of AI to create, or to, you know, to be an cybersecurity expert, in short. All right, next, this is quite an interesting one. That is, every industry needs it, whether it be finance, whether it be healthcare, whether it be government, whether it be e-commerce, whether it be agriculture, whether it be space, you name it. Wherever technology is involved, cybersecurity, it needs security. Without security, you cannot build an empire. As simple as that. To build an empire, you need a good lock. In other sense, you need a good security. Otherwise, your whole empire, people will take it. All right, so every industry needs it. Name it, you name it, any industry, it requires cybersecurity. All right, so again, it's an advantage. The next one, it is a new digital literacy. Let's say in 2000, back then in 2000s, not knowing how to use computer made you irrelevant, right? But nowadays in 2025, not understanding cybersecurity makes you vulnerable. All right, it is like a mandatory, or it is like essential needs, or you can say a skill that is mandatory for all, because in day-to-day life also we are using a mobile, we are using laptop, we are using television, we are using smart technologies, that is all connected to internet. All right, so that you need to understand, it is a new digital literacy, and we need to help our old peoples, we need to help our let's say relatives, parents, in order to literate them that how this particular thing works. All right, next, you can be a hero without a cap. All right, not, or in other words, not all heroes wears cap. This is quite an interesting point. You know, it is not only a job, it is where you take a responsibility to protect innocent people. All right, I always told you that there are two sides of world, where it is running by one side it is a good people, and other side it is bad people. All right, and you should always be focusing on protecting the world, protecting the innocent people from those bad people, bad side people. All right, that is how you become a hero, that is how you sacrifice yourself. All right, sacrifice is important. So it is, this job does not only gives you money or fame or knowledge, but also it gives you an purpose that you are doing something good for this particular world. You are making it a safer place for innocent people, all right, defending digital infrastructures and prevent real world crisis. Real world crisis it can create you, all right. The whole world is run by technologies, and if you can find bug in that, or if you can protect it from those bad people, then you are not less than a hero, all right. That you need to understand. It has a responsibility. This job is not for a normal people, those who cannot take responsibilities, all right. So few career gives you money, power and meaning, but this one does, all right. So again, a good option. Next one, this one is quite practical, that is remote work plus high salary, all right. And unlike other jobs, you don't need to go to office for working. If you are quite an expert, you can work from your home, you can work from any place in the world. You just need an internet, Wi-Fi, you just need a good internet, and you just need a laptop and a mindset, all right. That's all you require, and it pays you good salaries also, all right. A minimum high level cybersecurity expert can get up to 50 lakhs in India, I'm talking. In outside India, more globally, it is more, all right. So you have a quite good opportunity to earn huge money, plus it gives you the flexibility to work from anywhere in the world, all right. Not all job gives you that opportunity, all right. Let's go to next point, that is the world is becoming one big network. I already mentioned you this point, that with IoT, 5G advancing in internet, smart homes, smart cities, everything is connected. And if everything is connected, you cannot avoid that everything is hackable. It is very deep in nature that the more we connect, the more protectors we need, because there are high chance that bad people are also increasing, all right. So the world needs more good people, or let's say heroes in some way or the other, heroes who are working in a dark room and saving the world, all right. So nowadays, if you see, around 5 to 5.5 billion people are connected in the internet through some way or the other, all right. I have checked that in few days ago, but it might have increased right now. So you can just check how many people are connected through internet in this whole world, all right. It is quite a high number, and it will always keep increasing. It will never decrease, all right. So it is a good opportunity now to get into this field and become a hero or a legend that people will remember you, all right. So the next one, you are always learning and never bored. Why this particular line is because this particular field evolves daily, I would say daily, okay. Basically, people will find new threats, new tools, new puzzles, or new hacks to either save it or either destroy it. It depends on their motives of what they want to use, all right. But it is every day people are discovering something or the other, all right. So it is not like a routine that you need to do each and everything again and again. It is not that routine. It is always like you need to evolve. You need to have that mindset of learning till you die. That mindset you should have, all right. It is not for those people who just learn something and they stop learning. It is not for those people, all right. So this one is my favorite one, to protect yourself and your loved ones. Why? If you ask one simple question, why we are working, the simple basic fundamental answer is we are working for ourselves and our loved ones, to protect our loved ones. If you cannot protect your loved ones, what is the point? Alright, in 2024, 1 in 2 internet users globally were targeted, whether it be phishing, whether it be scams, whether it be identity theft, you name it, people were being attacked. Alright, so it is your responsibility to not only use your tools safely but also to protect yourself, or let's say you need to protect your mother or father from clicking those fake bank SMS or picking up fake calls or scam calls. Alright, it is much bigger than just using your phone. Alright, that is very, very important. So, and again, it is not only about your loved ones, but it is ordinary people also, ordinary good people. Alright, it is like a power that you have with yourself, that you become a hero. You feel like, okay, I have this power, I need to use it in a good way. Alright, I hope you are understanding the motive behind it. Motive is very, very important. And the last one, alright, the last one, it is the battle between chaos and the order. In the world ruled by unknown or unseen algorithms, cybersecurity personnel are the digital guardian of our world. They are the people who are saving it from those bad people. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Because choosing cybersecurity isn't just about your career. Alright, it is about choosing which side you want to be. Whether you want to stand on the side of light or whether you want to stand in the side of silent wars. Alright, whether you want to be a victim or whether you want to be a hero. Alright, that you need to decide. So these were the 10 points that I feel that this, if you can understand this deeply, it is not about data, any data. It is all about your inspiration or your motivation why you are starting a field. Alright, oftentimes it is the starting point, or it is a starting fire that you need to give yourself. Once you can get that starting fire, the whole forest will burn. The whole forest will burn. It is just, it needs an initial spark. Alright, so this video I'm trying to give you that particular spark that you need in your life. Alright, so the last one, it is not again a point, it is just an extra quote from my side. The future will be hacked. The future will be hacked. The only question is, will you be the hacker or the hacked? Alright, I hope that you have enjoyed this particular video, and I personally, this is my thinking that smart people, they will understand what I'm talking about. Alright, if you have listened to this particular video properly. Alright, so with this particular video, I hope your why is clear. Once the why is clear, then we can go to how we can become a professional hacker. Alright, so again, I cannot promise how many videos or how long the series will be. It is just a lifetime work. Alright, I'm not sure how much month or how much year it will take. Let's just go with the flow. Alright, I can only promise you that I am here building a community of heroes, a community of philosophers, deep thinkers. Alright, so it is not just videos, and I would like you to join me in this particular revolution. I would say, from my point of view, it is not less than a revolution. Alright, so that's it. Thank you. I'll meet you in the next video. Thank you. Today we are starting cybersecurity. It is the first class. Let me tell you, if you are new to this channel, what you will get in this channel. So I have already uploaded AI playlist. I have already uploaded Python playlist, and this is the first class that I'm starting with cybersecurity. And if you are a student or a person who is seeking for a job, then this playlist will be perfect for you, where I'll be teaching you ethical hacking from zero to hero. All right, so I'll be covering all the concepts. All right, let's not waste the time. Let's start with the particular topics. So you can see here the first slide, the journey of ethical hacker. I often say that ethical hacking is not just a field, it is an emotion. It is an feel that you need to give it all. All right, cybersecurity isn't about speed, it's about persistence. Face the challenge, learn from every misstep, and keep moving forward, because every obstacle is just another lesson in becoming unstoppable. I hope you have understood this. So let me tell you once again, be very serious if you are thinking of getting into cybersecurity. Be very focused and have persistence. That's the only thing that will help you, and you need to analyze each and every step, because in the process, while learning ethical hacking or cybersecurity, there are chances that you might do some illegal things. All right, so you need to be very careful what steps you are taking one by one, what steps, and analyze it, and then keep moving forward. All right, let's start with our first series. Let's start with our main agenda. So welcome to the cyber frontier. Today what we will do, it is the first episode, that's why we will learn about fundamentals of cybersecurity. Why are we here today? To learn how to think like hackers so we can stop hackers. All right, our main goal is not to hack innocent people. Our main goal is to stop those miscreants or those bad peoples from doing hacking. That goal should be clear to you before starting this particular field. All right, let's move to next. What is the end goal after this particular episode? What you will learn today? So we'll learn to spot the traps before stepping into them. Very important to be able to defend yourself and to become ethical hacker. Second point is to be able to defend yourself and your loved ones. All right, this field will give you the power so that you don't harm someone, but you have to protect yourself and your loved ones. Very beautiful slide. Sorry. So next is we need to understand different aspect, or we need to understand different outlook of becoming ethical hacker. All right, you cannot directly jump into this particular field without understanding all the norms, all the concepts, all the things, all the career aspect. All right, all you need to know. All right, so let's start one by one. So different types of hackers. What kind of hackers are there present in the society? So the first type is white hat hackers. I will tell it in short. All right, I'll not elaborate that much. Okay, so one by one we'll see. First one is white hat hackers. I am sure that you guys are aware of this particular term. White hat hackers are those hackers who do hacking for good purpose, for helping someone, for helping an organization, for helping an innocent people. All right, so these are the, these people are doing it ethically. That is the most important part. They improve the security systems by identifying vulnerabilities and helping people. All right, they are often hired by companies, government, or work as freelancers also. These are the good people in the society. Next comes black hat hackers. All right, so they are also an hacker, but the only difference is they are doing it illegally. All right, without the permission of that organization, of that particular person. They do it illegally. They often seems to steal data or disrupt servers or cause some or the other problems to an organization for personal use or even political gain. All right, these are the bad people. Next is grey hat hackers. So grey hat hackers, it is not good, it is not bad, somewhere it comes in between. So basically they do hacking for good purpose. Let's say they will do hacking without permission, that is basically illegal, but they do it for good purpose. They are often independent and often act out of curiosity to prove a point. Alright, not always malicious, not always legal, but somewhere in the middle they play a game. Those are called grey hat hackers. Next comes script kiddies. Who are script kiddies? They are often known as, they do mischievous act and or you can say it as attention seeker. Why they are attention seeker? Because they use lot of tools without understanding it. Alright, without understanding the result, or without understanding what will happen in the future. So if you are a student and if you are trying out different things without understanding the correct tool and all, you will be known as script kiddies. That will come inside this particular topic. Next is hacktivist. These are mostly, they work for activism, some kind of purpose. They have some kind of purpose related to what they are doing or why they are doing. Alright, usually anonymous. They are usually anonymous and often illegal also, but they have sometimes they do good work, sometimes they do wrong things, but these people have a very good popularity, let's say. Okay, for example, Anonymous. You must have heard this particular group called Anonymous. Alright, often it seems that they promote a cause, or sometimes they expose injustice that those particular organization does to common people. So these are the people who fight for some cause. Alright, they are the group of people who fight for their own rights. Okay, the last one is state-sponsored hackers. They are often backed by government and they work under, sometimes they work under legally, sometimes illegally, but they have the infrastructure with them, they have the military, data, corporation all along with them. Alright, they have the best tools along with them. They are the state-sponsored hackers. Let's say they are the hackers who work for government, in simple words. I hope you have understood this different types of hackers, so that next we can move to next slide. So we have seen till now what are the different types of hackers, what should be the motive. Now let's ask exactly what is hacking. What is hacking? So in simple terms, again, this hacking concept have lot of terminology, lot of concepts, different concepts for different people, but I would say this is simple curiosity. Hacking equal to curiosity to understand how things work, how the machine works, how the tool works. So hackers are not just people who break into systems, they are the thinkers, explorers and questioners. So oftentimes it seems that people get into this hacking for wrong reasons, but you need to understand these are the people who works out of curiosity, out of exploring something, out of the curiosity how this machine works, if I can change something, if I can manipulate it and make it do something else. This is nothing but hacking. I hope you have understood. Let's move to next question is, we have understood what is hacking. Now comes what is ethical hacking. Ethical means doing for right reasons, or the only difference I would say is you have the permission to hack is nothing but legally breaking it into someone's system, right? But here you are doing it legally. Alright, that is the only difference between ethical hacking and non-ethical hacking. Alright, so ethical hacking is the art of legally breaking into computers and devices to test an organization defenses. What do ethical hackers do? Ethical hackers use the same tools and techniques as malicious hackers, but one with big difference, that is they have permission and they have goal to protect, not harm. Alright, that is the biggest example between ethical and or non-ethical. That is the biggest difference, that they do it for good reasons. Let's move to next. So there's a quick funny slide, that is, what's scarier? A is 100 missed calls from your mom, or a suspicious email with the subject line, congratulations, you have won 1 million. Alright, I'm sure that you are smart enough to choose which option. Again, for some people it may be A again, and for some people it may be B. Depends on your scenario or situation. Alright, let's move to next slide. So next we need to understand different types of cyber threats. Okay, what are the threats that you will go through when you enter this particular field of cyber security, or you can name it as villains in the digital world. Alright, you don't need to think too much about this right now. These are some terms that you need to understand, so that later on you don't have problem while reading this, or you will often get this particular terminologies. Alright, in ethical hacking, terminologies are one of the most important things that you need to take care of. Alright, different terminologies are there. So first one is malware. These are just virus that you don't ask for. Alright, for example, ransomware, WannaCry ransomware, we'll see that little later. For now, just understand what is that malware. You can just think it as virus that you don't ask for. Phishing example is, click this link to claim your some prize money. Alright, spoiler, no prize. So oftentimes it seems that they are giving you some kind of prize, but when you click on that particular email, at the end, that is nothing but kind of virus. Alright, that is nothing but phishing. That technique is called as phishing. Next is ransomware, where they will hack your files or important things, and they will ask you money later on. They will ask you a huge money because they know that those particular data are very important to you. So those are called ransomware. Next is DDoS attack. Again, it is just like a traffic jam caused on purpose. Alright, just to take down one's website, let's say. Okay, so huge traffics are being sent on that particular website, so that particular gets hanged. Okay, so DDoS attack. So we'll see all this one by one. Again, today we are just starting. It is the first day. You should have patience while you are learning. Oftentimes when we learn this, we think that what are this, we need to go very much in depth. No, like few things you will not be knowing until and unless you practice it. Okay, so these are some terms that you won't get to understand until and unless you do it in practical way. Alright, when we'll be coming in the practical implementation, you will understand all these terminologies in depth. Okay, for now, just chill, relax, and think it as, okay, these are some kind of virus or techniques by which you are going to be attacked by hackers. Okay, so you need to be careful. Alright, next. So this is an example of how phishing would look like. Let's say real email is there and cloned email. So if you can see here, it is almost same, but let's say ban@yourcompany.com, and here it is ban@mycompany.com. So almost same, just the yourcompany.com is here, they have cloned as mycompany.com. Okay, that you need to be careful enough. So this is how phishing email looks like. Okay, next is types of attacks. Again, few terminologies that you need to know. You don't need to worry about all this. Eventually you will get to know it one by one. Alright, so the first one is spyware. Spyware is basically a kind of virus that would peek into your all the things that you are doing. Alright, it will observe, it will save the things that all, let's say I am typing something in keyboard, okay, so it will save all those things that you are doing so that it can report it to the hacker, that whatever hacker which have hacked into your system. All right, the next is Trojan horses. Again, friendly looking software with a nasty surprise inside. All right, so something that you would feel that it is not very harmful, but later on you will find out that it is nothing but a virus kind of. Okay, so that is called as Trojan horse. All right, next one is zero-day exploits. Okay, this is a very common term in ethical hacking terminology. Attacks on software vulnerabilities before the world even knows they exist. Okay, it is like let's say one company is there, Amazon, and many hackers are trying to find bug in it. All right, so there are a lot of challenges also, bug bounty and lot of other challenges also. So there they would try to find some exploit, some kind of hack they can do on those particular organizations. So the particular whoever does the first find the first exploit, it is known as zero-day exploits. Okay, so this is a very important term in ethical hacking terminology. All right, so next is social engineering. Social engineering, one of the most important topics or term that you will find again and again. All right, so this is one of the most important, because whenever hackers don't find any way to hack, this is the last way that they can hack, that is social engineering. It is basically depends on human psychology, how you can manipulate that person into doing something for your own benefit. Let's say I become friend with one person so that I can take all the information, secret information from him, and later on I am hacking him. So that is nothing but social engineering. Hackers preying on human kindness or curiosity. All right, very, very important. You would find that this particular social engineering is the most common attack that people are victim of. Okay, all right, so the next is real world examples of cyber attacks. You can just go through in the Google what is WannaCry ransomware, Yahoo data breach, SolarWinds attack. Let me just show you one of them, how to do exactly, how to find out the information. WannaCry ransomware. So what you can do is WannaCry ransomware, you just search it in the Google and you'll find some Wikipedia, let's say, and or let's say this one. Okay, so what you can do is you can just go through it. What is it exactly? Is an example of crypto ransomware, a type of malicious used by cyber criminals to extort money. So this is how you do case study. Okay, so you need to do a lot of case study, by which what kind of attack was it, how it was done, what was the psychology behind it. So if you are a hacker, you need to do all this case study. Okay, very, very important, and you need to make it as a habit that you need to do the case study. All right, so you can just go through it and you can read it, take some time and go through each and every details. All right, that is how you do case study. So there are some more attacks that you can just go through. All right, for now I'm just moving on. The next, the CIA triad. The CIA triad, the most important fundamental concepts of cybersecurity, that is CIA. All right, C stands for confidentiality, I stands for integrity, and A stands for availability. So it says that whatever, let's say I am sending one information from my WhatsApp to another friend, so it should be confidential. Means whatever I am sending, no one should be reading in between. all right. That is nothing but confidential. I hope this is very common term in English also. So now next is integrity. Integrity means whatever I am sending, it should go as a full or as a whole total sum. Okay, let's say I am sending a sentence called hey how are you. It should not go half or some percent of that particular hey how are you. It should go as a full how are you. That is nothing but integrity. All right, so it should maintain confidentiality, it should maintain integrity. Very important. And availability means whenever you are searching some website, it should be available, right? If it is not available, how people will search? So that's why this is the fundamental basic concept of cybersecurity, that is CIA trait. All right, very important. Okay, so oftentimes they may ask you in interviews or sometimes, all right. So this terms and reasons and the concepts you need to understand. This is very important. Next is some kind of policies and frameworks. Okay, if you ask me who is running all these policies, who is running internet, who is doing all this, I'll come to that point how internet works and all in the later videos. All right, so for now we are just checking out who is controlling all these rules, what kind of protocols, how internet works. So there are some organizations, or like some frameworks that needs to be followed. So I am just giving some of two of them. All right, there are a lot of others, like for countries there are different, for the whole world there is different organizations. So this is one of the policies or organization that controls the rules, that is NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, and ISO 27001. all right, so you can just read it. They basically do what? They form some rules how internet is going to work, what are the policies that needs to maintain. All right, the whole internet is run by policies and rules. Imagine if there are no rules. Imagine you are getting all the rubbish content in your laptop while surfing internet. That won't be good, right? So that is controlled. Internet is being controlled, and it is controlled in such a way that it have rules and protocols that needs to be followed. All right, so very important. You can just go through it. These are some policies and framework. The next is security layers. Okay, I won't go that much in depth in this. You just need to understand this is one of the key concepts of cybersecurity, that is cyber security layers, the cyber onion. It is also known as onion, as because it is the key concept is taken from onion. Okay, it has a lot of layers. So you can see here the outer layer is application security, next is network protection, and user security, and data protection. All right, don't go too much in depth in this. This is just to show how it represents. All right, so basically there will be a lot of layers. So an example, let's say physical. If you are in home, let's say first your doors are the most important. Those are the physical layer. Next is network layer. So before entering into your computer, it have to enter through one network. All right, so those are firewalls and VPN. Then it needs to enter your system. All right, system, let's say you have one password, so you need to keep a strong password. After that, you need to enter it into application. So just like that, there are some layers. Those are known as the cyber onion security layer. All right, this is just for understanding. All right, so I hope you have understood this. Next, what are the common vulnerabilities that you will find? What are the mistakes that you do while doing this or while surfing internet? So these are the most common ones. So the first one is weak password. Whenever you are using anything, any social media, make sure you keep a strong password. All right, you can just search in Google how to keep strong password. Basically you need to mix with characters, letters, alphanumeric numbers, all those, and you need to make it a little longer and not common ones. All right, not like I love my mom or India, something like that. I'm just giving an example. It should be little unique and complicated. So next is unpatched software. Many people often forget to update their software, so that is oftentimes seen as one of the mistake they do. All right, because those unpatched software will have lot of vulnerabilities in it. All right, so you need to update the software or whenever you are whenever you get a chance. All right, next is misconfiguration in cloud and network security. Sometimes we don't, or old people are unaware of the settings. Let's say in simple words, they don't know how the whole architecture works, or the whole, let's say an example as setting. Those old people doesn't know how to use mobile properly. All right, so that is one of the I'm just giving an example. All right, so in because of that also oftentimes hackers can hack someone's system. Next is lack of user awareness. Again, it comes inside this also. Lack of user awareness, how platform works, how internet works, how network works. You need to be very well aware of all those different concepts. Okay, next is victim of social engineering. One of the most important attacks, that you can't be kind enough to give all your details or password or important files to any of your closed ones, because who knows, they can be the hacker. They might be a hacker. All right, they might be related to someone who don't want good things for you. All right, so you need to be very careful while sharing all your important datas or files. That is nothing but victim of social engineering. All right, one more tip I would like to give you: while you are in a public places, do not join in a public Wi-Fi. All right, oftentimes it seems that people do hack through public Wi-Fi's. Let's say you are in a railway track or in a restaurant, try not to get into that public Wi-Fi. All right, so next is cybersecurity. Again, two categories are there. I'll move little faster. Okay, these are some concepts that you need to understand. All right, so two categories are there. Often it is nothing but offensive security and defensive security. We have already seen it as white hat hackers and black hat hackers. Okay, career aspect, again very important one. What you can become after you have learned all the cybersecurity concepts, after you get all the certification, what you can do in career aspect. So you can become penetration tester, you can become red teamer, security engineer. Basically penetration tester, responsible for testing technologies, product for big organizations. Have all of them have their ethical team. All right, they have the team which will do the penetration test for them. All right, next is red teamers, plays the role of adversary attacking an organization. All right, and providing feedback and enemy's perspective. Oftentimes they will hack it and they will give them a feedback that you can improve your tools like that. All right, so these are the red teamer. Next is security engineers, or they design, they monitor and maintain security controls. All right, you don't need to focus that much in this right now. You just need to focus on learning. All right, next is SOC. All right, security operation centers, or time security monitoring and responses. They are the ones who work for organizations. Again, threat intelligence. All right, they are the they often works for government, or they are the they do research of what kind of malware it is or what kind of attack it was. They are the people who does all the research or analysis. DFIR, digital forensic and incident response. All right, these are the ones who often work on the field of investigation cyber incidents. All right, so if you are that kind of person who is willing to work on investing some kind of incidents, then you can work as DFIR, digital forensic and incident responses. Next is malware analysis. Again, they work to analyze what malware, how it affects system, how to defend against it. All right, so these are the people. So for now you just need to understand this terminologies are important. Do not go in depth. All right, later on you will understand all one by one. All right, so with this we have completed this particular the first episode of cybersecurity. I hope you are enjoying it. Do let me know, give your valuable feedback so that I can improve, and I will be uploading one by one episodes. All right, going in depth practical implementation. I'll make sure that you learn practically, you understand, and you most importantly you follow a process or you follow a path that you can learn easily. All right, the mistake that people do is they try to learn without following a path, proper roadmap. All right, so I'm going to make sure that you have a proper roadmap with you so that you can go step by step and you won't feel it as difficult. All right, so with that, thank you for watching this video. I will meet you in the next episode. Thank you. So in the last video we have seen some important terminologies of cybersecurity or ethical hacking. All right, so today in this video we are going to understand the basic networking concepts. So let me tell you first that networking is one of the fundamentals that you need to understand before starting with ethical hacking. Why? Because networking makes you understand how the whole internet is working. It is the birthplace of ethical hacking, let's say. Why? Because of this particular concepts of networking, the whole internet is existing right now. The simple concept that two people wants to contact or send some message to one another even if they are far apart from each other. That is the basic concept of networking. In English, if we think about this word networking, it simply means that to make some connections, to make some valuable connections, right? So in ethical hacking or from cybersecurity perspective, networking is nothing but the whole concept of how the whole internet is working. So let us understand one by one, layer by layer, and each concept is very, very important. All right, it might be little long, but stick on. You have to promise me that you will see all these videos so that you get to clear all these concepts. Otherwise, the next videos that will be coming in this particular channel, you will not understand. So before starting the whole ethical hacking journey, we have to understand or build the fundamentals of networking. Without wasting time, let's start today's topic. So networking, what does networking means? I already told you it is nothing but two person wants to talk to each other in the internet or through this virtual machine. Okay, if we talk this machine, if let's say people wants to talk, so how can they talk? Via the networking concept. So networking connect devices, enabling communication like emails, videos, calls, and your favorite memes. So if you look at the history of particular networking, you will understand that the whole concept of networking started from the war, that is Second World War. All the countries wanted to be powerful, so in that process they made some devices with which they can talk to each other. All right, you can just search it in the Google, or in the later classes I will go more in depth on that, the history of internet and all, or the how the whole internet works. For now I'm just telling you from there the whole networking concept came, that is the World War. So networking is nothing but in order to connect or in order to talk with each other, how they have made this particular machine or the whole concept. Why learn networking? Because we need to understand how data travels. Data is traveling in the air, how it is traveling, through what medium it is traveling, what process it is traveling. So if you can understand how it is traveling, then only you can spot weak points, or hackers might exploit you if you do not know the whole security perspective. That is the reason we need to not only we have to use the whole internet, but also to understand how it works. Otherwise it is just like you are just using the tool without understanding it. So in order to become the whole expert of cybersecurity, you need to have this whole networking concept very clear. So let's begin. Features of computer network. What are the features? Let's see one by one. First of all, resource sharing. The whole concept relies on how you share resources from one computer to another. Resource sharing is very, very important. Next is scalability. Scalability in the sense, am I able to send only one person, or am I able to send 10 person or lakhs and lakhs of person at the same time? That is, it should be scalable. All right, at any point of time, if you think about internet now, you can send a message to thousands of people at a time at just a click. That is nothing but scalability. Next is reliability. Can you rely in that particular system? Can you trust that system? So the whole internet, it seems that people are trusting, but if you have little bit knowledge, then no particular system is secured enough. Everything is hackable. In some sense or the other, you need to have a lot of deeper knowledge on that, but I'm just saying from ethical hacking perspective that nothing seems to have 100% security. All right, so next is performance and speed. Imagine you are sending some message to one friend and it takes half an hour. Is it a good system? No, it is not a good system. It needs to be, performance needs to be fast, and it should have some good speed. Next is security. Again, if you know that someone can read your message in between, then it is not a safe system for you, right? You won't trust the whole system, so it needs to be very secured. Next is manageability. Manageable. All right, can you customize? Can you change it? Can you manipulate the whole thing? So it needs to be manageable. All right, so all these are the features of computer networks. So the whole particularly today's internet consists of all these particular features. Without all these features, today's internet is not possible at all. So next, so one by one layer we will be covering all the concepts. So today's particular video is very, very important. All right, make sure you open your eyes and listen to me very, very patiently. So next is types of network. So there are 4 types of network basically. There is PAN, LAN, MAN and WAN. I'm sure you must have heard this particular concept somewhere or the other in your lifetime. So let's see one by one. It is very easy, quite easy. I'm not going to waste that much time. First is personal area network. Imagine you are not connected to the whole world, but you are just connected to your phone. All right, so let's say I have turned on my hotspot and I'm connecting one devices. In that devices or in a room, I have connected 4 to 5 devices. So that is nothing but personal area network. Next comes LAN, that is local area network. So LAN is little bigger than PAN. Let's say in a college one Wi-Fi is there. With that Wi-Fi all the students are connected. That is nothing but local area network. Now again, next is MAN. Obviously it is in sequence. All right, it is one after another. MAN is nothing but metropolitan and area network. That is, you can think it as city. All right, in a city the whole broadband, the bigger one, or the whole tower, let's say that tower is giving network to all the nearby areas. Okay, that you can think it as metropolitan area network, internet service provider. So next after that is wide area network, where the whole world is connected. All right, so example is internet, World Wide Web. Okay, I can send a message from here to US, and that friend who stays in US. So that is possible because of wide area network, that is internet. All right, I hope you have understood. These are types of network. Next, so some important terminologies are there. Again, I told you that in the whole cybersecurity or ethical hacking subject, there are a lot of terminologies, important terms that you need to understand. Without understanding those terms, you cannot go forward. So some of the terms are ISP, IP address, MAC address, ports and protocols. So today in this video we will be looking at each one of these particular topics. All right, just have patience. Without patience you cannot do anything in life. You have to understand the importance of time, and you have to realize the fact that the biggest motivation of our life is nothing but time and death. Once you understand these 2 big things in your life, your half of your problems will be gone, because you will realize that you don't have time, and you understand the second fact that you have a limited time. It is not for forever. All right, so let's learn it. Let's give our 100% with that. So next, first one is ISP, internet service provider. So if you think of our internet, let's say I'm using hotspot is of, let's say, 10 meter, so it cannot go beyond that. So let's say a Wi-Fi can again go, let's say, 10 meter, all right, max to max 20 meter. So if you want a large area network, you need something bigger than that, bigger than Wi-Fi or bigger than hotspot. So that is provided by ISP, internet service provider. They have lot of towers throughout the country. All the countries are again connected by the wires inside the sea that I will be covering in some other video. But for now, ISP, internet service provider, is nothing but all the big companies. If in India, if I talk about all big companies like Jio, Airtel, Vodafone, or what are those? All those are internet service provider. All right, they will provide you the internet or the connection that you need. It is not a miracle. It is the whole process of connecting with one another, from whether it is wireless or wired one. It is all science, all right. It is not a miracle. So if you have to have the curiosity to understand how exactly it is working. It is your responsibility to have the curiosity and not only use it just like a dumb fellow, all right, just using the internet. No, it is not. You have to have curiosity. So ask yourself a question: how the internet is working, how the Wi-Fi is working, what kind of concepts are involved there. So that is nothing but internet service provider. It provides you the internet that you are using right now, seeing this video, all right. That is nothing but internet service provider. Next is IP address, one of the most important concepts in particular networking. It is just like if we talk about humans, we have particularly our name. So for all the devices in the world, it have particular IP address. If you are connected to any internet, you have to have IP address, so that the one person have to connect to you, let's say. All right, this is Ram, this is Sham. So if Ram have to talk to Sham, it have to know the name of this particular device. So let's say this is Sham, this is Ram. If Sham wants to connect to Ram, it needs to send a letter to Ram. Just like that, in the internet, it is recognized by a name that is known as IP address. All right, it is your device home address on the internet. It is represented by some numbers that we will see, but you need to understand that IP address is nothing but it is a name or the nickname that is recognized in the whole internet. You will be recognized by that particular name. All right. So there are types of IP addresses that we will see, but in short, it is nothing but your address. All right, address of your particular address, you can say, or the name by which, or the identity factor by which your device is identified in the whole internet. So let's see next, what are the types. There are two types of IP address, IPv4 and IPv6. So again, there are two types, as I told you. IPv4 is the earlier version, IPv6 is the newer version. Why they have shifted to IPv6, that I'll tell you. But if you look at this particular IPv4 address format, how it is represented by 4 divisions are there. Each division is called octet: first octet, second octet, third octet, and fourth octet. Okay, it is denoted by decimal, and those decimal can be converted into binary. All right, can be converted into binary, and those binary can be described by 8 bits. One bit is 0 or 1, that is binary. So if you see here, it is nothing but 8 bits are there. So 8 bits equal to 1 byte. So there are 4 sections, so that is 4 bytes are there, and that is nothing but 32 bits, right? So 4 total bytes are there and total 32 bits are there. This is how you are recognized in the whole internet. There is something called IPv4 and IPv6. So right now we are talking about IPv4. Next is IPv6. Again, it is a hexadecimal. Here it was decimal, and here it is hexadecimal. Each and every here, if you see, there are 8 octets. Okay, 8 divisions are there. If you can see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 divisions are there. And again, each and every divisions are nothing but 16. That is again hexadecimal, and you can calculate. So there are 128 total bits. Okay, 128 total bits. That is nothing but 16 into 8. All right. So that is how it is find. But now you need to understand that why this IPv4 have, like, what are the difference, why we need two types of IP address, why not one? So let us see the difference so that we can understand why exactly it is used. So if you can see here, IPv4 32-bit numbers are there that we have seen. All right, 32 bits numbers are there in order to recognize you in the whole internet. IPv6 128-bit number are there. So basically you can see IPv4 is 32-bit and IPv6 is 128-bit. That is larger number. Larger number means more combinations. As simple as that. Don't complicate it. All right. Address format, dotted decimal notation. You can see address format is hexadecimal notation. It is denoted by FE80. So all these numbers you can, for this you need to know the number system properly. It is all there in number system. Next is, look at this particular thing. This is the most important, number of addresses. So 2 to the power 32. It is somewhere around 4 billion. Somewhere around 4 billion addresses can be formed from this IPv4. All right. So this IPv6, if you see 2 to the power 128, that is nothing but 3.4 trillion something. All right. Why it is used? Because I'll tell you the reason, simple reason why. Because here if you can see 4 billion, right? So if I search here, how many active internet user in the world, let's see how many people are using. All right, so if you can see here, 5.56 billion people are using. That is a simple reason that 2 to the power 32 is something around 4 billion. So it is not enough. There are more 1 billion people needed, right? More 1 billion addresses are needed. That is the reason IPv6 has been introduced, and it is being introduced slowly and steadily. It is not like totally whole internet is using IPv6. No, IPv4 is also being used, but it is just that people are shifting. All the newer devices, IoT devices, are shifting slowly and steadily. All right, if I talk about your device will have both IPv4 and IPv6. But you will ask again, how is it possible? All right, how IPv4 is possible? Because in the whole world at the same time, all the 5.5 billion people are not using it. A simple common sense, right? Because at some part it is day, at some part it is night, and at the same time it is not possible that all the people are using internet. All right, that is how it is being dynamically allocated. The IP address that you have, that is public address, it is dynamically allocated to you by your internet service provider. It is not fixed. I will give you the example that it is not fixed. I cannot do it right now. If I have to tell you one experiment, that what you can do is, you can just search here, let's say, how to find IP address, that is public IP address. All right, there are two types of IP address again, public and private. I'll come to that again, but let's say directly you can search what is my IP address. So what is my IP address? If you see, there's a first website that you can directly find. So here you can see this is, let's say, this is my particular IP address of my Wi-Fi, not my device, again Wi-Fi, that is public IP address. So this is my public IP address, and you can see here all this information. But the important point is, this is not my fixed IP address. Why? Because if I switch off the router and if I keep it sometime, let's say 2 minutes off, and again I switch it on, it might be possible that this whatever number we are getting, it is not same. All right, that you need to understand, that the IP address is not fixed one, it is dynamic in nature. It is a very, very important point. So you can do this experiment and check out whether you are getting the same IP address or not. All right, let me not do it because I'm in the middle of the explanation. I have to search something. It will be time taking process. So, but you can do it. So that is how IPv4 and IPv6 are being divided. Do not get confused. IPv4 is the smaller version. IPv6 is the larger version. Slowly and steadily the whole world is changing towards IPv6. So this is how you can find out your IPv4 and IPv6. Next, So there is some see, there are two ways to find out your IP address. Again, I told you there is something called public and private. I'll explain you one by one, but right now we have searched in the internet, that is nothing but public IP address. All right, that is public, that is publicly available in the whole internet. If anyone is sending me, it have to send through public, as simple as that. So my one is IP Mac OS. So if I want my public, I have to write this curl in config.me, and if it is private, I have to write IP config get if adder en0. This is how you can find in Mac OS. If you're using Linux, you can use this. If you're using Windows, you can use this. Each and every device have one public and private. Right now in the browser we have seen this as a public. How public and private, I'll explain you, but you have to understand this. You can try this out. Okay, I'm not trying this exactly right now because my system might get hanged right now. All right, so you can just note it down or take a screenshot of that so that you can use it later. This is a very, very important, this you will have to use while hacking. All right, very, very important syntax, command line syntax. Okay, let me go to the next point. So there are types of IP addresses. I already told you there is something called public and private. Let us first look at public and private. After that we'll look at static and dynamic. So public and private, the name itself says one is public, one is private. So I'll show you the difference here. So first of all, private and public, I'll show you the diagram. Look at here. So observe here. Let's say this is internet. This is internet. All the devices are connected through public. Okay, this is, let's say, public, this is public, and this is public. In this public, if it have to communicate with other devices, then it have to communicate through public only. But in that public, let's say this is my router, inside that all devices are connected and each and every devices has a separate name. That those particular nickname are known as private. Let's say, see, private can interact with another private using private IP address. Alright, it is possible that this computer and this computer are communicating through private because it is in the same network. But imagine this private network wants to communicate with this, then it cannot communicate because this, it needs to send the message in this public, and from this public it needs to find that particular public and it needs to convert it into private, and then it have to search which device is it. As simple as that. If you need to communicate with another network, then you need to communicate through public, and if you want to communicate in the same network, you can communicate in the private. As simple as that. I hope you have understood. So let's look at the difference. So usage, if you see internet network communication, if I am connected to this network and my friend is also connected, I can directly communicate through private. No public is required. But if I have to communicate with external, that is my friend staying in US, then I have to use public. Alright, connectivity not accessible over the internet. Private, you cannot find anyone's private because private can be common in nature. If you see this, let's say 192.168.1.2, this one can also have 192.168.1.2 because the numbers that you are getting in private are given by your router. Okay, there is something called DHCP. We'll come to in the next videos. We'll come to know all those topics, but for now you just need to understand your router gives you the particular number and it can be common. All right, the whole point is it can be common, but the public address cannot be common because if it is common, it means communication will happen. All right, as simple as that. Accessible over the internet, the public IP address. Next is assigned by router within the local network. Alright, assigned by internet service provider. So public is assigned by internet service provider, private is assigned by router. Alright, very useful. Reusability can be reused across different private network. The same private network it can have by different people, but unique across the entire internet because name should be unique, otherwise miscommunication will happen. Security, enhanced, not exposed to the internet. It is more safer, more vulnerable, exposed to the internet because if I'm showing you the public, then the whole internet can see my public IP address. All right, that is different thing, that it is not fixed one. I'll come to the next point. Example that you can see, there are examples given. IP range is something, so you can see the IP range, any combination of number not reserved for private use. For private, specific range will be there that you have to take. Next, I hope you have understood this diagram also. Very simple, quite simple, do not make it complicated. Next comes dynamic and static IP address. What is dynamic and static IP address? So imagine you are surfing something in Google. Google is a website that is hosted in some server. It is hosted. It cannot be hosted in the air, or like God is not hosting Google. Someone in there, the owner of the Google is hosting the server. It is a website that is hosted in some server. That particular server have IP address, and that IP address they have to keep it static. Why? Google have lot of IP addresses in it because it is a large organization, right? But what I'm saying is it have to be fixed. Why? Because people are searching it. When they are searching it have to go through the same network and to the same particular place or the server. That's why it have to be static. So whenever you host something in the internet, you will have a static IP address, or let's say the normal IP address. Let's say normal user, I am surfing it, so I don't have to have the static one because it can be changed. I'm just surfing it, I'm not hosting it. Alright, if you have to host, you need to take the domain name, and that have to be static. Okay, domain name, and it have to be connected with that IP address so that people can search that domain name and they will find your website. That is how it works. Dynamic, we are having dynamic. As I told you, the experiment, if you switch off the router, your public address will change. There's a high possibility. That is why dynamic. IP address can change, better suited for home internet. The internet we are using, it is dynamic in nature. No configuration required from the user. IP address is permanent, better suited for business. Configuration required from user. I'll just show you one example here. So observe here. Let's say I am taking out terminal and I'm just writing a simple command call. Let's say I'm just writing ping.com. Okay, this is a simple command to ping to check whether it is responding, so you can check it out. So here I'm just showing you that I am sending some packets to Google and Google is responding me through this particular IP address. So Google is also having that IP address. Google is nothing but domain name system. Alright, they have taken the name google.com, but behind that particular google.com there is address that is being saved with that particular name. Alright, so this is the public address. Alright, so each and every website in the internet is having their own address. I hope you have understood this concept of dynamic and static. Very, very, very important. Alright, so there are 4 types: public, private, dynamic and static. I hope you have understood this. It is very clear. Do not be confused. Keep it simple, and no need to go that much in depth right now, as because you are learning, you are starting it. Okay, don't put too much pressure in it. You'll have to learn slowly and steadily. Just keep patience. That is important. Subnetting. So subnetting is nothing but dividing a large network in a organized manner. Let's say huge 1,000 students are there. What I can do, I can divide it into 10 groups, 100 groups. Okay, and those 100 groups I will give one a person. I will dedicate that person to those 100 persons, so that that person can take care of that 100 people. All right, that is how it is. The whole concept is known as subnetting. So you will not understand this right now in depth that much. As we keep going on in this particular series, whenever is required, we will see for this topic called subnetting. Alright, for now you just understand, in order to divide the large network into smaller parts so that we can manage it and manipulate it in a better way. That's why subnetting concept is being used. So as simple as that. Next is MAC address. So the logical address, IP address is often said as logical address. Alright, and the MAC address is often known as physical address. Why physical address? Because each and every machine in the whole world is physically available. Alright, we can touch it. So each and every system that you have some address attached to it. That is nothing but media access control. MAC address, media access control. I hope you are getting it. So it is physical address, that is logical address. All right, so what are the characteristic of it? A unique identifier assigned to a network interface card. There is something called NIC in each and every system. In it, NIC will assign you some number that is known as media access controller. So that is nothing but MAC address. So 48-bit address will be there. That is nothing but 8 bits into 6 divisions. That is how 6 8s are 48. Local, used in local network communication. All right, so it will have logical and physical. It needs both in order to communicate. So permanent and hardware based. It is said that it is permanent, but through some ways you can change your MAC address. Also, it is known as spoofing, that we'll see in the coming videos. So normally it is permanent, your MAC address will be permanent, but through some spoofing process you can change your MAC address also. So media access control address. So you can see there are 8 division. Each and every 8 division is a hexadecimal again, and each and every have 8 bits. So 8 into 6 is 48. It is divided into 2 parts, that is organizational unique identifier. Next is network interface controller specific. All right, 2 parts are divided, 3 parts. What are those? Let's say organizational unique identifier. Organizational means, let's say my laptop is from Apple will have take this particular 3 boxes in order to fill their numbers. All right, they will have particular numbers. Samsung will have their own particular numbers, because different organization have different numbers. Next is network interface controller system. So that is basically network. My device will have this particular 3 boxes. All right, so organizational will have these 3 boxes, and my particular device, that is in order to identify my device, it will take the 3 boxes. As simple as that. One is organizational unique identifier. Next is network interface controller specific. Do not be confused, keep it simple. Slowly and steadily you will learn. Next, so you can check your MAC address by using this particular syntax, that is in Mac you can just use ifconfig en0 or grep ether. In Linux ifconfig grep ether. In Windows ipconfig/all. These are the syntax that you can use. You can try it out. I'm not trying it because it will be a little slower in my PC right now. All right, so you can check it. You will get your MAC address. And another way is you can just go in your device and also check manually. So there are 2 different ways. So next, we have seen IP address, we have seen MAC address. Next comes ports. Ports are again a logical path. Okay, you can think it as if I have a home, there are different windows or there are different doors by which we can communicate in the sense we can go out and we can come in. That is the route, or that is the path by which we can come in and go out. So just like that, our own devices have something called ports through which they can communicate. In other words, those are nothing but paths. So the first thing is path features. Next is communication. It is used for communication only on open ports. Imagine my home is there, but all my home windows and doors are closed. Can you come inside? You cannot come inside, right? In order to communicate, you need to have open ports. It is as simple as that. There are basically 65,535 ports are there in all the system. In general, there are 65,535 ports are there. So one port at a time. It will work one port at a time. Okay, in one port, one process can run. Multiple processes cannot run in one port. That is the reason they are giving that many ports at a time. So those ports are again divided into some divisions. What are the divisions? So basically 0 to 1023 are kept for well-known ports. All right, let's say you need to send emails, you need to use your TCP IP protocol. In those, all the protocols will use different ports. All right, let's say application, my WhatsApp, or the different protocols, SMTP, all those different protocols, SSH. All right, so all those different protocols will take some path in order to run those protocols. So those are well-known ports. Okay, so basically 0 to 1023 are kept for all well-known ports. All the communication will happen on those well-known ports. Okay, as simple as that. Next is registered ports. Okay, these are registered for particular task. you cannot use all this. Already these are registered. It is like those are committed people. You cannot, hang out with them, or you cannot have a chance with them, because those are committed people. All right, so 102.4.2 49,151 are the ports that are registered ports. Next is dynamic ports. If any other communication needs to happen, it will happen in this particular. These are single people, they can roam with anyone. All right, these are dynamic ports. Okay, so 49,152 to 65,535 are the open ports, with whom if any two application needs to run, then they can run in that particular ports. All right, they can communicate in that particular ports. So it is very, very important. You need to understand this thing. I hope you have understood. Again, very simple. Next, the last concept of today's video, that is nothing but protocols. In simple word, it is a set of rules. Imagine you are running an internet and all the unknown video, all the random videos are popping up in your computer. Will it be good? No, it won't be a good experience. So just like our world, it is running by some set of rules or set by government. So just like that, our internet is also having some rules that needs to be followed by the internet users. Okay, that rules are called protocols, set of rules, how data is being transmitted. Okay, so it is developed by all the different scientists. Okay, it is not one day thing. Rome was not built in a day. Just like that, the whole internet is not built in a day. It is a slow process of all the efforts done by scientists. All right, so we have to respect those scientists. Because of them, we can now talk to any person in the whole world. We can do video call, we can just send message. So it is so handy. In some other way, it is so useful to us. Those particular scientists have sacrificed for us, right? So how data is being transmitted, device communication, how communication will occur. So everything is in that particular protocols. All right, so let's look at different protocols. So you don't need to worry about all these different protocols. These are some common protocols. Let's say HTTP used to serve if you are serving browser, then this particular protocol needs to be followed. That is rule. It is a rule that needs to be followed, HTTP, and it will have particular ports to run it in a different port. Okay, it will take one port and it will run this particular protocol, HTTP. All right, next is HTTPS. It is a advanced version, that is secure version of hypertext transfer protocol again. All right, FTP, file transfer protocol, TCP, transmission control protocol. It is one of the most fundamental concept that you need to understand. In the next video we'll see IP address. Just now we have seen internet protocol, IP address, UDP, user datagram protocol, simple mail transfer protocol. It is used to send emails and all. SSH, secure shell. All right, if you want to communicate it with one another system without internet, then you can communicate through SSH shell also, secure shell. So these are all different rules that needs to be followed. All right, do not keep too much pressure on this right now, as you won't understand right now, as you are just starting. Just make sure that you understand, okay, these are some rules, and these rules will use some of the different ports in order to communicate with other devices. There are more other protocols. I have just given some well-known protocols. Okay, these are well-known rules that needs to be followed. So you need to understand the whole internet is run by rules. Okay, that I'll go elaborate in again how internet works. So last, we are done with today's video. I hope you have understood. So last slide is remaining, that is fun networking fact. The first message sent over ARPANET. ARPANET was the organization which had made those particular connections. All right, in a simple word, network. That networking concept has been introduced by them, ARPANET, and they have sent low. The system crashed after the first two letters of login. So one person was sending login to another person, and low was being transferred. After that, the system has been crashed. Okay, so this is a common fact that you need to understand. Next is fiber optic cable carry data at nearly the speed of light. The second fastest thing that travels in the world, that is data. That is the reason when you send a message to your friend, it reaches in a seconds. How it reaches? Because data travels at the nearly at the speed of light, not exactly but nearly at speed of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, thinner than a human hair. Alright, we'll see this fiber optics and all in the next videos. Your internet data can travel across ocean via undersea cable. Okay, India, it is connected through big towers, but in across all other countries it is connected through wires below the oceans, that we will see how it happens and all. But for now you need to understand all the countries are connected by wires below the sea, and sharks sometimes nibble on them, so sharks sometimes plays with your cables. All right, that is again an interesting fact. So I think it is done. Next day we will see OSI model, one of the fundamentals one. But yeah, if you are watching till here, then I would like to thank you first of all, because you have passed the patient test, that not all people will have patience, but if you are still here, I congratulate you that you have patience and you will be surely successful one day or the other. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you are understanding and enjoying the vibe. Yeah, if you have anything to tell me, just let me know in the comment box. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Hey guys, welcome back to Zenkaya. I'm back again with a new video. So today we will be seeing a very important concept, that is nothing but OSI model, the fundamental basic concept of cybersecurity. All right, with that, let's start today's class. All right, so there are a lot of confusions around this particular topic called OSI model. So today I will clear all those topics. So step by step, let us see what is first exactly OSI model, why this model was made, is it practically implemented, and if it is implemented, we will understand by a practical example. All right, so let's start today's video. So the first slide says OSI model agenda. Today's agenda, first we'll completely understanding of OSI and TCP IP model. What is OSI model? What is TCP IP model? What is the difference between them? And technically and practically, and we will see real world analogies per layer. We'll divide each and every layer and we will analyze each and every layer step by step. All right, so the bonus point here is quick mind map visual to remember everything. All right, so I will give you some of the examples that you will feel that it is quite easy to remember. Okay, so let's go next. The first thing is why hackers love the OSI model. It is not just a concept, but it is the foundation of cybersecurity, or you can say the whole networking concept. It is the foundation of the networking. Why? Because it tells us how two particular devices communicate with each other and what are the actual steps that is involved in it. We know that when we send some message in WhatsApp from my phone to my friend's phone, we know that it is moving through via air or any medium through wires. All right, but the question that you should ask is what are the steps that it is being followed. All right, so today we are going to see and why hackers love. If you are aspiring a hacker, then you have to have a total understanding of OSI model. All right, without it you are just a noob. Okay, so let's start with that. OSI model, what exactly is OSI model? A conceptual framework, very important term, a conceptual framework. It is not the practical framework. All right, there is something called conceptual and practical. So it is a conceptual framework that standardizes the function of a telecommunication or computer system into 7 layers. The modern communication relies on this particular concept. Again, it is not a practical implementation. We'll see in coming slides what exactly is practically implemented. Next, so the OSI model, that is Open System Interconnection. The full form is Open System Interconnection. It is a model. It is a model or a framework which tells you exactly what are the communication process and how it happens step by step. So how many layers are there? There are 7 layers. All right, 1 to 7 or 7 to 1, both way it works. So imagine I am sending one message from my phone to my friend's phone. So how it will go? It will go through 7 6 5 4 3 2 1, and if I am a receiver, it will go through 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. That is the proper data flow. So if I am sending, the data will flow through, the layer will flow through 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. If I am a receiver, it will flow through 1 2 3 4 5 6. I hope you have understood this much. So let us see layer by layer. The first layer. So one problem comes, like people do studies this particular 7 layers, but after some days they forget. That is a problem. So in order to remember this, there is a mnemonics that you can remember this easily, or I can say analogy that you can easily remember this. So all people seems to need data processing. Very simple, common, standard mnemonics, that is all people seems to need data processing. What do you mean by that? A, application layer. P, presentation layer. S, session layer. T, transport layer. N, network layer. D, data link layer. And P, physical layer. Alright, all people seems to need data processing. This is how you remember the flow of OSI model. I hope it is clear. Next, so let us start from the 7th layer. Why we are starting from 7th layer? Just to understand, if we are a sender, then how it flows. Okay, so we'll understand both the ways, but first imagine we are the sender, so we need to understand how the data flows. So the first come application layer. The first is application layer. Why? Because to send one message via me to one person, it have to go through application. So the first is application layer. Alright, so I have to interact with the application. That is the device called mobile. In that applications are there. You need to interact with that first, because devices doesn't understand machine or human language. It understands machine language. So we need to interact through application. Alright, it can be any application. Take it as Gmail, WhatsApp, Snapchat, anything. All those are what? Application made by developers. Alright, so the first one, closest layer to the user, because it is the layer by which we are interacting. It is basically also known as GUI, graphical user interface, through which we interact with the application, like browser, email clients and FTP tools. That is a medium through which we communicate with the machine. Alright, so next is handles protocols. Like, so in each and every layer we will see it handles some protocols. So what are those protocols that are involved here in this layer? Those are nothing but HTTP, FTP, SMTP, DNS. So all these protocols we will slowly and steadily understand. Do not rush in these protocols, because these have lot of in-depth concepts behind it. Alright, HTTP is used to browse anything. It is a protocol which is used to communicate with the web browser. FTP is file transfer protocol. SMTP is for emails. DNS is for domain name server. So different protocols have their own importance. Okay, next is ensures user can interact with network data easily. Imagine if it is too complicated, can we communicate with the mobile phone? No. So it have to be very easy, it have to be understandable by a human, so that we can interact with any other human being. So the layer comes application layer. This is the first layer. Next we'll go to presentation layer. What presentation layer does? Now in this it translates data so both device can understand it. Imagine two person, one is Indian, one is Chinese. So how they will communicate? They have to communicate through a common language, that is translator. Imagine Indian guy is speaking Hindi and Chinese is speaking in Mandarin, and both have to understand. So what they will choose? They will choose a common language called English. So in this, that is working as translator. They can keep a person also which can understand as a, or work as a translator. So presentation layer works as a translator. It translates from human language to machine language. So it makes sure the message looks the same on both ends. Both party have to understand the message. Handles things like encryption and compression. Very, very important. Compression, encryption, decryption, end-to-end user. So WhatsApp often says that it is end-to-end decrypted. Means what? Whenever you are sending a message from your device to someone's, even the middle person cannot read it. Why? Even if they get the packet, they will not be able to decrypt it because it is encrypted in nature. Alright? So WhatsApp claims that it is a encrypted message. I hope you are understanding presentation layer, what it does. It translates, it encrypts, it decrypts, it compresses so that the other party can understand and it can flow easily in the middle way. In the middle way, it have to flow easily. Okay? So that the machine does not understand English, it understands machine language. So it have to encrypt, decrypt, compressed, decompressed. Alright, so I hope it is clear. Next is session layer. So now we were interacting with application. Next comes encryption has been done, that our message has been encrypted. Next is session layer. So what it does, it starts manage and end connections. Imagine I am sending something to the other person. Imagine that person does not live there, or it is a wrong address. What will be done? The connection will be broken, or the message will not be received properly, right? So just like that, in the networking system, whatever you are sending through your mobile phone, that is IP address, to another IP address, it have to reach correctly, right? So in order to reach correctly, it have to connect with that person, whether that number is it valid, or whether the connection is it there, is the user that you are sending, is it still active or not. Alright, so it will check all of those, and it will, if it is active, then what it will do, it will create a connection, it will create a session between you and the other person to whom you are sending a message. Next, it keeps track of active communication. It keeps track whether you are communicating correctly or not, or if it is stopped in between, then it resumes from where it is left. The third point, it checks points to resume from where it left off if data is lost. Alright, it tries to create a connection between two parties, whether it can be server or whether it can be user, server, user, another user. It works in both ends. Next, so now it have created a connection also. Next is it does transport layer, one of the most important layer. Transport layer. What it does, it ensures end-to-end communication between devices. Once it creates the session, then it is ready to send the message, right? So what it will do, it will make sure, this particular transport layer make sure that end-to-end communication happens between the two user. Breaks data into smaller segments for transmission. Now there will be some terms known as segments, frames, packets, that I will be explaining you in the coming slides. For now, just listen to these terms. So the first term comes here as segments. Segments, you can think it as the large section is there. What it will do, it will create a small segments. It will divide it into smaller parts. Those smaller parts are known as segments, so that it is easier to send those messages. Imagine a long message is there, so it will create a segment, smaller message, and it will send, so that there is less problem in sending the whole large file. Okay, so you have to understand in that way. So first term comes segments. Next is resembles data at the destination. If this transport layer is working in the destination, then what it will do, it will resemble, it will collect all the data and it will make it one, so that the other user can understand. So it does both, it creates segments also and it resembles also. Alright, it just depends on which side you are, whether you are a sender or whether you are a receiver. Next is, it also handles error detection. So it is one of the most important layer, that it handles error detection and correction. If there is any error in between sending data, so it follows the sequence also, so it checks all of it. Controls data flow to prevent overload. It also same thing, it controls the data flow, which one should go first, which one should go second. It follows all the sequence. Provide reliable or faster transmission option, one of the most important point. Here comes TCP and UDP. I will be explaining this particular concepts in the next video properly with in-depth. For now, you just understand TCP means whenever you are sending a file that needs to reach as it is exactly, then it is TCP protocol have to be used. Imagine you are sending a message cannot be sent half message or some percentage of it. It will use TCP protocol. Wherever the full data is not required, imagine you are talking in a call, so if the network is not working properly also, that is also fine. In that case, UDP protocol is being used. Okay, imagine you are doing a video call, so even if some data is lost in between the communication, it does not affect you that much. That is the reason at that communication UDP protocol is being used. Whenever you are sending some file images, then TCP is being used, because you cannot afford to lose some data in between. Alright, so for now just understand that. Next is assign port numbers to identify application on devices. It also assigns port number by which whenever you are sending it have to reach to the port, right? So I have explained you port in the last video. So ports are nothing but logical gates through which the communication happens. So this particular transport layer also takes care of port number to identify application on devices, which port it needs to be used. Let's say HTTPS 443. So different protocols will use different port number, that you have to remember. Next, I hope you have understood this transport layer, one of the most important layer in OSI model. Next is network layer. Again, one of the most important, that is responsible for routing. Now see, now till here it will decide which protocol. It will check all the correction, it will segment it into smaller part, it will check the port, everything is done. Now it is ready to be, the message is ready to get shifted to the receiver. Now what it will do, it will have to find the route. Imagine the whole internet is so big and puzzled that it have to find the fastest way to reach the receiver. Otherwise, imagine you are sending a message and it is taking half an hour to reach the receiver. Is it reliable? No, it is not. So you need to communicate fast, right? So in that context, this network layer helps us to do routing. So why does it is useful? So in this particular routing, few algorithms are being used of data structure concept. Let's say Dijkstra algorithm, Floyd's algorithm. All those algorithms are being used to find the fastest. It is like a maze. When you open Google Map, it is the whole world is there in a format of map. So it needs to find the smallest path or the shortest path through which the data can travel. So this particular layer will take care of that routing. That is called routing. So uses IP address to identify source and destination. I already explained you IP address, what it does. It is nothing but an identity of each and every device IP address. Okay, so it needs to, your sender IP address, receiver IP address, it needs to find the shortest distance or the shortest path. Determines the best path for data to travel. Routing handles logical addressing. It is logical, it is not physical. So everything will happen logically. Okay, IP address logical, physical is MAC address, that you need to remember. Manages packet forwarding. Packet forwarding is one of the again important concepts that we'll be seeing later in the series. And fragmentation. Fragmentation is nothing but here, fragmentation means that particular data, those segments, you can term it as packets. Okay, so all those packets, small section are packets. What it will do now, all those packets will attach the IP address into it. Why? Because that data cannot go alone. So what it needs to do, that data needs to be wrapped with the IP address, so that each and every data has the IP address and the destination address, that is receiver and sender. It needs to have both the data in that particular packet. Alright, so what it does, it fragments. Fragmentation means the packet will have now IP address along with it of both sender and receiver. It is known as fragment. I will be showing you in the next slides what exactly is segmentation, fragmentation and packets. Okay, so next is manages. It manages all of it. Works with routers to move data across networks. So again, this layer works with routers. So all the routers in the world, it works, this particular layers will connect to all routers. The IP address, it will try to find the router in the whole world, and it will try to find the shortest path. That's it. Protocols are being used, IP, ICMP, ARP, RIP. So all these protocols are again very useful. Internet protocol, ICMP, is used to check whether there is connection in between. So we have used ping command in the last video. So in there, ICMP protocol is being used. So no need to worry right now. All this slowly and steadily we'll understand each and every protocols later. Next is data link layer. Imagine it have found out the shortest path also. Through that particular network layer, it have found out the shortest path. Now what it will do? Now again, those fragmentation, it needs to connect the MAC address also. MAC address is nothing but physical address, I told you in the last class. So that fragments, it needs to add all those what? MAC address. Attach the MAC address with it, so that after reaching that router, it can find the MAC address, because there are two addresses, public and private. So it can reach public, but after reaching public, it needs to identify which device it needs to send. So it is done by data link layer. Let's see. Responsible from node to node data transfer. Node to node. Okay, it is denoted by node, all the different devices. Uses MAC address for the device identification. Once it reaches the router, which device it is connected. There can be 5 devices. Which devices it is connected? It is determined by MAC address. Breaks packets into frames for transmission. So that process is called frames. That breaks packets. Again, those packets will be converted to frames. So it will attach those MAC address again. So now it is known as frames. Handles error detection and correction. Again, it also handles error detection and correction. Ensures reliable delivery over physical links. Okay. So once it reaches the logical path, then it needs to find out the physical links. Physical links means MAC address. Devices like switches, network interface card. So NIC is a physical device that is connected to each and every device. Okay, so switches is also works under this data link layer. Next is protocol. Which protocols are being used? Ethernet protocol, PPP, ARP. So all these protocols works under data link layer. So what it does, it will find the shortest path. After finding shortest path, it will again find which device it is. That particular thing is done by data link layer. Next, once it is ready with all those information, now what it will do, it is ready to actually transfer. Okay, till now we are just searching the best path, we are just searching what is the MAC address, we are framing it, converting it into packets to frame each and everything, whatever is necessary, we have done that. Now it is ready to transfer from my device to the receiver device. So now what it will do, that will be taken care by physical layer. What it does, the physical layer is the lowest OSI model, that is number 1, handling physical components like cables and connections. It uses electrical signals to transfer data in binary form. So what it does, if you are a sender, that binary format will be converted to electrical if you are a sender. If you are a receiver, it will happen vice versa, just the opposite. Example, Ethernet cables connect devices for data transmission. Okay, all the devices, all the cables that I told you in the last class, that it travels through beneath the sea. So all those Ethernet cables work under this physical layer. Alright, so I hope you have understood the whole process of OSI model, how it works, and all these things you need to remember. Okay, so we are not done yet. Let's just revise what it does, each and every layer, so that you don't forget. So the first layer, if we are a sender, remember that we are a sender. 7th layer provides a user interface, that is where application can access the network service. Next is presentation layer, encryption, decryption, compress and decompress data. Next, session, it needs to create or establish the session, so it manages, terminates sessions, all those happens in session layer. Next is transport layer, transmits data using transmission control including TCP and UDP. It needs to find out what protocol it can be used, whether TCP or UDP, and it transmits the data using transmission protocol. Next is network layer, again it finds the shortest path from source to destination. And next, data link layer, organize bits into frames, defines the format of data on the network. Again it works with MAC address. Okay, the physical layer. So last one is physical layer, that is transmits raw bits over the physical medium, that is the machine language, that is binary 0 and 1. It have to convert into electrical signals, and it have to travel in the speed of light, nearly to speed of light, and it have to reach at the end point, and then it have to do the same thing that we have done from 7 to 1 layer. It have to do the same thing from 1 to 7, because it is the receiver. So receiver have to receive through all the layers from 1 to 7, one by one step. Alright, I hope you have understood this much. Very, very important. So that is OSI model, that is conceptual model that scientists have discovered, that if we send this particular way, that data might travel. So it worked, it actually worked. So now what they decided is, they decided that we don't need that much of layer. Okay, what we can do is we can eliminate some of the layers so that it will be little easier for us to remember. So what they did, they kept only 4 layers, that is application, transport, internet and network. How are they connected to the OSI model? I'll teach you. First, just look at it. Application layer consists of some protocol, HTTPS, TLS, DNS. Transport layer consists of TCP, UDP. Internet layer consists of IPv4 and IPv6. We have already seen. Network, it consists of Ethernet, wireless LAN. Okay, so these are 4 layers, that is TCP IP model. This model is called TCP IP model, that is called OSI model. OSI model is a conceptual model. This is a practical model that is being used in today's networking communication. Okay, so look at this, the difference between OSI reference model and TCP IP actual model. Okay, so application, presentation and session, it have combined it into application. Transport is transport same, network is same, data link and physical, it have again combined together to form network interface. Okay, as simple as that. Very, very simple. No need to confuse at all. This three has been combined together to form application. So everything, whatever three things are there, it is there inside the application layer. Next is transport layer is same, network layer is same. This is taken care by router. This is again does in the application itself. All these are done in the software level, and then it is done in the physical level. Okay, so I hope you have understood all this layer. Next, so look at it till here. Imagine the segments, packets, frames, all those confusion. Let us see what exactly it is. So first what we did, first we understood application layer. 4 layers now, only 4 layers, because OSI model is a conceptual. Now let's come to practical. So let's say those 4 layers, data from application layer. Next what it does, it travels to transport layer. What it does, it will TCP body is there, that will consist of data. TCP header will there, where all the different data will be there, metadata, data about the body. Okay, so IP address will be there, how much time it will take. Okay, so all the different information will be attached with TCP header, how much data size it is, sequence number. Next comes network layer. So what it will do, this particular layer is called segment. Okay, it will attach to TCP or UDP. So let's say I am sending a message, so it is TCP. So this particular layer is called, the whole thing is called segment. Next, TCP and TCP header, fine, but it is, this particular layer is known as packet. Okay, packet, that is the smallest unit of data. Next, when that packet, particularly packet is fine, but when that packet is attached to MAC address, the whole thing is called frame. Okay, the whole thing is called frame. So the frame needs to be sent in the particular physical layer. That you need to understand. So this is how it looks. First data was there, data we were sending from application layer. Now next it passes through TCP. Okay, TCP transport layer, TCP or UDP. So accordingly it will take. Next it goes to network layer. So see here, network layer. Network layer, it will consist of all the receivers IP address, senders IP address, routing. Basically it happens routing here. So this is known as packet. So again that particular whole thing will wrapped by receiver's MAC address and sender's MAC address. The whole thing is called now frames. Okay, the whole process is called encapsulation, because it is all encapsulated in one as a tablet, let's say. Okay, I hope you have understood this. So last is TCP IP model. This is the practical implementation where it consists of application, transport, internet and network interface. I hope you have understood. So let me just give you a small example of practical implementation of how it works. Okay, so let's say now what you are doing, you are in a WhatsApp. Practically will understand. So let's say you are in a WhatsApp, you are writing a message called hello in your application layer. All right, I hope it is clear. So what is the data unit here? It is known as just data. It is just a raw data. Okay, what are the protocols used here? Protocols, rules, HTTP or file FTP can be used accordingly. Okay, what kind of data you are sending. So protocols, I hope it is clear till here. Next it goes to presentation layer. So this hello is now moved to presentation layer. Now what it will do? Now it will encrypt the message so that the middle person cannot read it. Middle person in the sense even Wi-Fi, even the ISP, internet service provider. Alright, so what it will do? It will do encryption. It will do encryption and it will do what? Compressed. Why it will compress? Because compression needs to be done, otherwise it will be too large. Okay, so that compression needs to be done so that less data is needed while transferring. Okay, so what kind of protocols are needed? Let's say SSL, TLS. Okay, all these are encryption protocols that we will see in the cryptography series. Okay, I hope you are clear till here. So basically it does what? Translates. It does translates. So your message has been translated now into, let's say, binary or machine language, something that cannot be read by the middle person. Now what is done? What is there? Now next is session. What will be done by session? Session will now, it is like a middle person which will make sure that you and your friend is having a proper connection so that it can receive or send. Okay, so that it can start, manage, and it can send the proper communication is done. So it creates what? It creates session. Make sure that your friend is online or active, or it is a correct number, let's say. Okay, next is what? Transport layer. What transport layer will do? It will first identify which protocol needs to be used, TCP or UDP. So it is just a raw data, right? So it needs to reach correctly. So what we'll use? We will use TCP. So TCP is a reliable, but UDP is a faster. Okay, but here we cannot afford to lose data. That is the reason we are using TCP. So again it will divide the hello, let's say hello, into smaller parts. HELLO, let's say, I'm just assuming. It is now dividing it into smaller parts. That is called segment. Okay, next what it will do? Next, network layer. What it will do? It will take that segment and it will add, along with that it will add IP address, and it will add, let's say, all the details of sender and receiver, basically routing. Okay, each and every message, it will have a sequence number also. Alright, let's say sequence number 0, 1, so that it properly manages the flow, which one should go first, which one should go last. Okay, it manages all the sequence also. So what protocols are being used? IP, ICMP, ARP. Okay, this particular thing is called packet. So I hope you are understood with the segment packet. Now next layer is what? Next layer is data link. Data link layer. Now that unit, particular unit, that H and all the info was there, right? It was called packet. So this packet, now what it will do? It will again wrap in a bigger something called frames. So what it will have? It will have all those, but it will have MAC address and all the information related to sender and receiver. Okay, this particular unit is called frames. Okay, so all the MAC address is the main important part here. Okay, the last one, what is the last layer? It is a physical layer. So what it will do? Now this particular message, this particular frame will be converted into electrical signals or radio waves. Okay, here it will be traveling through what? Ethernet or Wi-Fi. If it is Wi-Fi, wireless, 5G, LTE. Okay, it depends on what. If you are in mobile, wireless. If you are in Ethernet, it travels through wires. Okay, fiber optics, etc. So it will maintain the particular medium. So now what is the unit here? Unit here is bits. Okay, so ultimately each and everything is boiled down to 0 and 1, 0 1 0 1 0 0 0. So that is the reason the whole internet, it is being said that it is nothing but zeros and ones, binaries. So we have to respect those scientists which have invented all these complicated concepts for us just to make us communicate easily. All right, hats off to them. So this particular waves will be traveled in either, let's say, 2.5 or 5 gigahertz that you can see in the Wi-Fi. You have two options, 2.4 and 5.2 if I'm not wrong. So that will travel in the air again through router or the ISP towers. Okay, so then it will find the shortest path, then it will reach the your friend. Now the point is, all these things are happening, all this transport communication is happening, all the 7 layers is happening, and it is happening in fractions of seconds. Why? Because data travels at nearly at speed of light. I told you in the last class. Okay, isn't that amazing? Yes, it is like the greatest invention of history that is being done, and we have to be, we have to be grateful for that. We have already got the inventions with us. Now we just have to work on it, and we have to push forward the evolution that we have already got, and make the evolution or you can say make the future bright for the upcoming generations. All right, I hope you have enjoyed the particular video, and I hope you are clear with the whole OSI model. It can't be more in depth than this. I hope so. So thank you, and give your valuable comments so that I feel inspired, because at the end of the day I also need a motivation to work upon, right? So if I'm not getting the proper response, that I might feel little bit demotivated. So I am hoping that you guys are liking it, so that you give your valuable comments, so that I know it that you are watching it. All right, that's it. Thank you, and keep learning. Okay, I am here back with another video. So I am loving the responses that you are giving, full of love, but I have one complaint with you guys, that is, you guys are watching the video but you are not subscribing. So do this small favor, that subscribe it. Like, it takes a lot of effort to make this video, to make this quality content, as because it takes time and effort. All right, everything we do in our life takes time and effort. So I'll be motivated to work more towards it, to make more quality content for you guys. All right, so it all depends on the responses. So let's keep a target of 1000 subscribers in this video, so that let me see whether you are responding or not. Okay, so 1000 subscriber for the next videos. All right, with that, let's start today's topic, that is TCP protocol. All right, so in the last video we have seen the OSI model, how it works, what is the actual process. But then again, I told you that the most important thing is OSI is a conceptual, it is not in real world. Okay, it is not a real world implementation. Okay, what is real world implementation? It is TCP IP protocol. There are 4 layers, okay, that I've already told you in the last class. So in this today's, how TCP IP model works, that we will see today. Okay, again, do not confuse with two things, TCP IP model and TCP protocol. Many people are confused with TCP protocol and TCP IP protocol model. TCP IP is a model, TCP is a protocol, do not confuse. Okay, TCP IP is a model, 4 layers model on which the whole internet is working. TCP is just a protocol on which the connection happens, the reliable connection happens. Okay, so there are two important protocol that is there, that is TCP and UDP. In short, TCP, wherever you need a full data integrity is required, there TCP is being used. And next is whenever you don't require a data integrity, that time the UDP you are using. Okay, you are not using, the whole network is being network is using the protocol. All right, with that let's start. So first is TCP protocol, the three-way handshake. What is the three-way handshake? There's a term called three-way handshake. A lot of times you might have heard, but let's understand today what exactly is three-way handshake and how it works. Okay, so connection oriented three-way handshake, and TCP ensures a reliable connection before sending data. Imagine A is there, B is there. So if A wants to send message to B, A will make sure that B is having stable connection, then only A will send, otherwise A will not send. Okay, that is done by TCP. You are not doing that again. Whenever you are sending message, TCP protocol is being used in the networking analogy. Okay, whole networking concepts, TCP protocol is being used. Okay, next, so let's see advantage of TCP and disadvantage of TCP. So the first one, so here do not again confuse, that is TCP IP model, this is protocol. Okay, these are two different things. So advantage and disadvantage. Advantage of TCP guarantees data integrity. As I told you, if you are sending one message, let's say you are sending I love you to your girlfriend, then you want to send the whole I love you. Imagine you are just I love is going, but you is not stuck somewhere in between. Would you like it? No, you wouldn't like it, right? So you would like to send the full message to your girlfriend. That is, in this scenario, TCP will surely help you. Alright, so advantage of TCP, guarantees data integrity. Next is maintains order of packets. In TCP there is something called sequence number. So while we have seen in the OSI model, it breaks into different packet segments. So all those different segments will have a different sequence number. So imagine a long message is there, I am slicing it into 4 parts and I am naming it as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, as simple as that, so that it can go sequentially. It will follow a sequence through which it will set up a connection. Next is prevents data floods. What does it mean? It means that whenever all the data is going at once in that particular server, the receiver server, it creates floods, right? So it avoids that. How it avoids? It will send one by one, sequentially it will send, so that data flood will not occur. Okay, as simple as that. Next is disadvantage of TCP. What are the disadvantage of TCP? Let's see it. Slower due to reliability checks. Obviously, imagine you are going in a airport security, so it will be obviously slower. Why? Because lot of checks are there. That is here slower due to reliability checks, because connections need to be built before sending one message to your friend. Next is requires stable connection. Obviously without stable connection it will not send at all, right? Can bottleneck during poor performance. Bottleneck in the sense the head of the bottle is quite smaller than the other parts, so if your connection is little slower, it will stuck there, so it will create it will create a traffic in that particular neck area. So that is known as bottleneck during poor performance. Okay, I hope you have understood. These are the advantage and disadvantage of TCP protocol. This is very important. A packet will be there, in that TCP protocol will implement its protocol, right? It have to follow the rule, that packet. So what it will do, it will follow some headers needs to be there. What are the header? First is source port and destination port. We have already seen ports. Ports are logical gates through which the communication occur. So source have to set its source port, that is random port of sender. You can see any random port of sender it can choose. Destination port, fixed port of receiver. So if you are sending it in a web server, it will choose the 80 port because it is going through that fixed port of receiver. Destination port, source IP, the sender's address. Destination IP, the receiver's IP address. Okay, it is required. Sequence number. whichever packets are going, it will require which sequence number is it. Is it 1, 2, 3 or like that? It have to follow the sequence number. Acknowledgement, whether you are, is it confirming, is it received, is it have I received, am I sending it back? So acknowledgement is required here. Okay, without acknowledgement it will not proceed further. Next is checksum. Checksum means, imagine I have sent all the data to this server, and then again it will check whether all the data has been sent or not. Alright, that is how it checks the integrity. It is called checksum. Alright, next is data. So the actual data is also being attached in this particular TCP packets. And last one is flag. Some flags will be there, for example SYN, ACK, FIN, REST. All these are different flags that implements different protocols. Okay, that implements different concepts. We'll see that flag in the next slides. So I hope this is clear. You make sure take a screenshot or note it down. These are very important in networking concepts. This is the basic fundamental of how networking works, how the internet works. Okay, without this, internet is not possible. So you need to understand how it works. Next is three-way handshake, how it works. So how it creates the three-way handshake. So first A is there, B is there. First A will send, let's say, hi. Hi, are you there? A has sent. B will say, yes, I am there. Then A will send, okay, I got it. Okay, so three-way handshake. First I am telling, hey, are you there? Second, B is telling, yes, I am there. So it is sending, yes, I am there. And again you are sending what? Okay, got it. Okay, so three-way handshake. SYN, ACK and acknowledgement. Client initiates connection, that is, hey, are you there? SYN acknowledgement is server acknowledge and agrees to connect, and acknowledgement is client confirms connection is ready. So now I can send the data. So now actual data will be sent. Actual data transfer begins here in this. And last is FIN. FIN means when it's done, when I have sent all the data, then I have to send the FIN flag. I already told you FIN flag is there. I'll tell how it initialize the FIN also, but for now just understand FIN is a flag. RST is also a flag. When you send RST, when it termination, some kind of error happens during the connection, then RST flag will be sent. Okay, these are some flags that are required. So you can see the diagram here. Client is there, server is there. First SYN will be going, next SYN ACK will come, and last SYN will be again going. So there's a three-way handshake. That is the reason it is called three-way handshake. Okay, I hope you are understanding it. Next, look at this way. Example, starting with sequence 0. So this A is sending 0 and this SYN is sending 5000. Okay, 5000. It is initializing with 0, it is initializing with 5000, and it will tell I have got your 0. So next again client will send 1 this time. Why 1? Because the last time it has sent 0, this time it has to send 1. So that is how it is checking. Okay, last time it has sent 0, this time it is sending 1. So it is sequence is correct. So that is how the connection is proceed. Once it is done, then it will proceed with the main data connection part. After that it will finish the connection. So observe here, once the data is sent, after that how the FIN works. So again it have to send FIN. So it is not like data is sent, now you have to stop the connection. No, directly it does not stop. It again stops with three-way handshake. How? First it will send FIN, I am done, this is my final. Again it will acknowledge and it will also send FIN, and again last it will also acknowledge that okay, I have got your message, goodbye. Alright, that is how three-way handshake works. I hope you are clear with it. Very easy. Next one is UDP protocol. I already told you that when this UDP protocol happens, usually when it is not, it is not guaranteed that you will get that particular data or not. For example, video call, for example, playing a game, for example, calling. When you do all those things, it is not guaranteed that you can do video call at any place at any time. No, because it depends on network. So all those scenarios, UDP protocol will be used. So it is also known as stateless communication. No need for a continuous connection. Alright, Sometimes it will work, sometimes it does not work. So accordingly it will send data between devices. No three-way handshakes or synchronization. No sequence is there, as there will be packets will not be divided into sequence. No three-way handshakes are required, as because no, this is stateless communication. Last one is usage, ideal for application that can tolerate some data loss. Example, video streaming, voice chat. I have already explained you. Suitable for unstable or unreliable connection, where it is not guaranteed. Okay. Advantage, faster due to minimal overhead. It is faster. Why? Because it does not create any three-way handshake and all. It directly sends whatever you want to send, right? That is why it is faster. Lower latency, as of no connection setup is required. Obviously lower latency. Okay, you cannot expect the full latency, full clarity, let's say. Okay, so that is how lower latency, you cannot expect the higher latency. UDP disadvantage, no guarantee of delivery. When you are doing video call, there is no guarantee that it will create a connection. Why? Because it goes on UDP. Okay, data can be lost or received out of order. So while doing streaming and all, sometimes it can hang, sometimes it can error can occur. All right, so that is the part of UDP protocol, so you cannot complain. All right, so look at the header. Just like TCP header, UDP header is also there. So there are here one big difference is here no sequence number is there, no acknowledgement is there. All right, that is the main part of TCP. Acknowledge, it will acknowledge and it will set a sequence number. So here time to live is there, means it is not forever. Expiry time is there. So whenever you are sending something in video call, there is some expiry time. If that time is exceeded, it will be expired. Okay, you cannot send anymore. So time to live is there. Next is source address is there. Destination address will be required, obviously, right? It is IP address. Next, port is required. Source port and destination port is required. Data is obviously whatever you are sending, data is required, right? So look at the diagram. It is quite simple. Request is sent and response is sent just after the request. It is not checking any of the acknowledgement, it is not checking any of the handshakes, right? It is directly sending. So with this we are done with three-way handshake. It is quite an easy topic, and this much, if you understand, this much is enough. You don't need to go more in depth, it is not required. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed it, and remember the target is 1000, and I'm hoping that you guys will help me out in that, and I promise you that I will deliver the quality content like this. I just need your support. Okay, keep supporting me. That's it. We'll meet you in the next. Hey guys, welcome back to Zenkaya. So I am back with another video. So with that, let us start today's video. In the previous video, we have seen in-depth concept of OSI model. So in OSI model, we have seen different layers and how it works, and we have understood it using example, also real life analogy, so that we can remember. So now today we will be looking at some of the physical entities. Okay, so all the conceptual entities we have seen in the previous videos. In today's video we will be looking at little bit of physical entities. What are the actual physical practical way of implementation of that networking concepts? Alright, so let's start with that. The first device or the first physical entity that comes on our way is router. In simple words, router is nothing but the device that you use in your home in order to connect with the internet. There are different internet service provider like Jio, Airtel, Vodafone in India. So you might be using any one of it, and any other also, Act Fiber. There are a lot of ISP are there, internet service provider. So all those are what? All those are routers. So router, what it does, a router connects network and sends data between them using routing. So routing is an verb. Okay, it is an action. What router does? Router does routing. Okay, operates at layer 3. So in the last video we have seen OSI model layers, layer 1 to layer 7. Okay, so in there we have seen layer 3, that is network layer. Next is data link layer. Next is physical layer. Okay, in that router works in layer 3 of OSI model. Okay, next, it helps data find the best path across multiple networks. So again, it does not only do routing, but also it does what? It does find the best path. That is the reason when you send one message from your device to someone's device, it reaches as fast as possible. That is because of routing. Next, admins can configure router via web or console interface for tasks like port forwarding, firewall rules. So all these concepts we'll be looking at more in depth in the coming videos. Okay, for now, understand port forwarding is a concept used to connect with the actual internet. Okay, otherwise it will be, we can connect in the private but not in the internet. So in order to connect with the internet, port forwarding concept is being used. Firewall is nothing but to protect us from hackers. Okay, so we can use firewalls in order to protect our data or packets, the flow of packets and all. So that all this we will be looking at the coming videos. Okay, for now we will be looking at router. How routing works. So router decides the best path on shortest route. Again, I already told you, it finds the shortest route. Okay, so it has lot of algorithm. Let's say Dijkstra algorithm, Bellman-Ford algorithm, Floyd's algorithm. All those different algorithms of data structure are being used in order to find the best shortest path. It is in the graph concept. Alright, so that is the reason data structure is also very, very important, because it has real implementation on the real world. Okay, it is not just a concept. All those are practically implemented in the real world. So next is most reliable connection. Most reliable in the sense which one will be the fastest one and which one will take lesser energy. Okay, so it is nothing but it finds the most reliable connection. And last one is fastest medium. Obviously there will be different mediums, optic fiber, copper. So according to the shortest path it is finding which medium will be the fastest medium, it will try to find out, and then it will send your message from your phone to the receiver's system. Okay, I hope it is clear. Next is computer A reaches computer B through the most optimal path chosen by the router in between. Okay, that is as simple as that. This is just an example. Router equal to switches. Router connects network, switches connect devices in one network. So there are two terms, one is router, one is switch. Router is nothing but it connects with the whole internet. Let's say my neighborhood is there, it has another router, so router will connect all the internet. Okay, and switches, what it does, in one router many more devices can be there, those are connected by the switches. Okay, that we will be looking at in the coming slides. So for now, router is clear. Router is nothing but it does routing, it finds the shortest path, fastest medium, and it will give us the reliable connection. Alright, so how routing works, device A is there, device B is there, router will be there. There will be many networks, but it will try to find the shortest and reliable connection. Okay, that's it, simple. Next is, what is switch? So this term called switch is there. So what does this switch do? Okay, a switch connects multiple devices in a network. Imagine my network is there and my 5 devices are connected to that particular router. So now you will be confused, where is the switch? I'm not using switch in my home network, I'm just using router. So this switch was used earlier. Okay, not earlier in the sense, but also now also it is being used, but in a large, let's say large office is there or large institution is there where lot of devices needs to be connected. So in that place switches are being used. Okay, in real world, in home, inside the router, this switch is available, already attached with that router. In home devices, this switch is already attached in the router, because home devices will allow, let's say 5 to 10 connections. Okay, it will not allow many devices all at once. Okay, for that switches are being used in large institution. For small number of devices we use router itself is enough for us. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Works via Ethernet cables. Okay, can support 3 to 63 plus devices. Okay, it is when switch is being used, switch physical entity is being used, it can support 3 to 63 devices. Okay, that much it can connect. Our router cannot connect that much of devices. Alright, so responsible for forwarding frames to correct devices using MAC address. Alright, so we have seen different layers, layer 2, layer 3. Layer 3 works on routing, layer 2 works on MAC address. So frames, forwarding frames, we have already seen in the last class what is frames, what is packets, what is segments, all those we have already seen. Okay, so it will forward frames to connect devices using MAC address. Okay, it will try to connect, or let's say one message is coming in the router, which device it should go. So that will be done by the switch. Okay, I hope it is clear. If you are not clear with the frames, packets, you can just refer to the last video that I have uploaded in this particular series. Okay, let's move next. So this is how it looks like, the diagram. So router will be there inside this is switch. With that there are a lot of devices that are connected. Again here if you see, again some it is divided into two parts. Okay, so here you can see VLAN 1, VLAN 2. Okay, sales department, accounting department. Imagine this is an office, so router is there, and switch, using switch we have divided two departments. One is sales department, one is accounting department. Alright, so that is how it is divided. So this particular concept is called VLAN. Okay, inside that switch only, this particular concept of dividing local area network, it is nothing but VLAN is virtual local area network. Okay, it will create a virtual environment where it will create different departments. All right, divisions will be created virtually. Allows logical separation of device on the same physical switch. Okay, on the same physical switch it will allow logical, not physically, logically it will separate different departments so that you don't have any confusions. Okay, example, sales and accounting are isolated but still share the internet. Alright, so sales and accountings are different department but still they are in the same internet. So boost and security and controls network. Alright, that we have seen VLAN, virtual local area network, and I hope that switch is clear to you. So next is home router. This is what I was already talking about, home router. So many will have confusion, router and switch. We don't have switch in our home router, right? So that is because in our router nowadays advanced routers are there. So in there router is there, obviously switch is also there inside the router, access point is there, DHCP is there, DHCP server is there, firewall is there. All these are there inside this particular router. Okay, so we have seen all of these few terms are there, DHCP, firewall. We'll see all those in the coming videos. Okay, for now you just understand router, switch, access point. Alright, so layer 1, layer 2. Alright, so I hope you have understood till here. Everything is clear. Router, switch and VLAN, virtual local area network. Okay, so a small quiz for you. What is the verb for the action a router performs? I hope you have got the answer. It is nothing but routing. Okay, it does routing. I told you the verb action. Okay, what are the two different layers of switches? So on two layers it works. Which layers? I hope you have given the answer. It is nothing but layer 2 and layer 3. Okay, switches works on layer 2 and layer 3. As because router is there in layer 3, so it switch is there inside the router, so it works in layer 2 and layer 3. Alright, so answer is layer 2 and layer 3. Next, introduction to LAN topologies router. So now we have seen router. Now we have to see how those particular routers are being connected in the real society, real world. Okay, how my router is being connected with the internet, which topology. There are different topologies are there by which the whole internet is connected. So there are we will see some of the topologies. Okay, so what is a topology? The physical or logical design of a network. So it is a design of how the different networks, all the networks are connected in a real world. Okay, that is nothing but topology. Determines how devices are connected and communicate. How do they communicate? Okay, let's see. So the first one is star topology. Very common. Okay, star topology. So you can see the diagram. One central device is there, along with that all the different devices are connected. So definition is device connect to a central hub or switch. It can be router, it can be switch. Along with that central device, all the devices are connected. Common today due to reliability and scalability. So it is very reliable and it is scalable. Alright, because with one particular device you can connect multiple devices. Okay, that is easy and that is scalable and reliable. Data flow sent through the central devices. So if the data is reaching in central device, it can send through any devices from that central device. Okay, so that is the reason it is scalable. Next, what are the advantage and disadvantage? First advantage is easy to scale. Okay, so let's say 5 devices are already there. If 6 needs to be added, one more, you can just add a wire and add one device. That is how easy it is. Okay, easy to scale. Isolated devices failure. Okay, for example, one device is not working, so it will not work alone. It will not destroy other devices. Okay, so as simple as that. Isolated device failure. If one device gets failure, then it will be isolated. Okay, it will not affect any other devices. All right, that is, I hope you have understood. Next is disadvantage. Costly, because with each and every device you need to connect all the different wires for each and every device. That is little costly in nature. Okay, more cables and hardware and cables are required. Central device failure. Disadvantage is if the central device failures happens, then the whole network will be breakdown. Okay, network will be down. I hope you are understanding this. Last one is requires more maintenance with scale. Okay, so it requires more maintenance because in that central all the other devices are dependent on that particular central. Alright, I hope you have understood. Next one is bus topology. I'll move little quicker. Bus topology. What is bus topology? You can see the diagram. One central line is there, one backbone you can say. Along with that all the branches are there like a tree. So, alright, so all the devices are connected through that branches, small branches. Okay, so definition: device connects along a single backbone cable. So single backbone long cable will be there, along with that small devices will be connected with the small branches. Structure similar to branch of a main trunk. Okay, it is like a tree structure where main trunk will be there, all the branches are there, small devices are connected with that branches. Data flow: all devices share one communication path. So imagine I am sending one data from here to here. Even if I am sending from here to here, it have to pass through here. So there's a chance that this particular device can read all those packets. Packet sniffing is done and it can encrypt all those data. Okay, so that is a disadvantage of this particular bus topology. Alright, so let's say advantage and disadvantage. Cost efficient and simple to implement. Okay, it is cost efficient as because one main trunk is there and all the smaller branches are there. Fewer cables and devices needed. Obviously fewer cables are needed. Disadvantage is bottlenecks under heavy traffic. Imagine every device is sending some or the other data to other devices. So what it does bottleneck means if too much data is entering into that bottle. Imagine bottle is there, neck is smaller, right? So all of the data entering all at once, it creates traffic. So that is known as bottleneck under heavy traffic. Difficult to troubleshoot. Why? Because all those data are passing through one main trunk. Okay, one main wire. That is the reason it is difficult to troubleshoot. Single point of failure because if that backbone failure happens, then the whole network will be down. Okay, I hope you are understanding it. Very simple. Next is ring topology. You can see the diagram here. All the devices are connected in the format of ring. Okay, so it is forming a circle. So devices from a closed loop. Devices form a closed loop. As you can see, a ring, that is why it is known as ring. Data flow, one direction, each device forwards data. So what it does, if you want to send from here to here, it have to go through either this or either this. So other devices can also read your data. Okay, if they can do packet sniffing and all, so they can do what? Man in the middle attack. So this is how data travels in ring topology. Okay, also known as token topology. So this is also known as token topology. Let's go to the advantage and disadvantage. Advantage is less prone to traffic congestion. Why less prone to traffic congestion? Because it is passing through one devices to another. Only one path is there, so it will pass. If you need to pass from here to here, it will have to pass through here. Okay, through either this side or either this side. So less traffic, prone to traffic congestion. Next is disadvantage. What are the disadvantage? Inefficient path to destination. So what does it mean? Data have to travel through all the other devices. That is little inefficient. Alright, there are a lot of chances that man in a middle attack, all those attacks can occur during this data transmission. Next, entire network fails if one device cable fails. It is obvious, if one device is failing in between, then all the devices will fail. Alright, last is not easily scalable. It is not easy to form a circle or form a ring, because the whole world is not designed, the whole map is not in a circular way. It is not in one format. So this particular ring topology is not easily scalable. I hope you are understanding it. Last one is mesh topology. Okay, mesh topology, you can see each and every device is connected to each and every other devices. Okay, it is not that practical in nature, but in some areas it is being used, or you can think it as mesh is nothing but a combination of different other topologies. Let's say bus and ring is combined together. Okay, so it is also known as mesh. I hope it is all the topologies are clear to you. All these are quite simple, not to worry. Very simple concepts. Let's move to next concept. Okay, so one very important term is there, that is subnetting. Okay, so what is subnetting? I already explained you in the last video. Subnetting is nothing but dividing the network in a smaller parts so that it is easier for us to do routing, or data transmission is easier when it is divided into parts. Let's say sales department, let's say accounting department. Okay, that is nothing but, in simple words, that is subnetting. Okay, subnetting, dividing a network into smaller subnetwork. That is clear. Think of it is like slicing a cake for your friend, helps manage and isolate device effectively. Okay, this we have understood. Let's move to next. So next, check it out. Why subnet? Why subnet? Look at this. A business with different departments. If there is an organization, let's say college, there are different parts. Okay, there are different departments. So in that, subnets helps us to create a department. Okay, accounting, human resources, finance. Subnetting lets us the network which department data should go to. Okay, it is quite simple to understand. Next, anatomy of an IP address and subnet mask. Observe here, this is quite important. How subnetting works. Title: both are 32-bit. Okay, both are 32-bit written in 4 octets, both subnet mask and both IP address. So IP address we have already seen 192.168.1.0 1.100. Example, subnet mask. So what is subnet mask now? Observe here, 255.255.255.0. Alright, so here you can see the 3 first octets are filled with 255. What does it mean? It means 24 octet. Means 32 bits are there, right? So all those 24 octets are filled with 1, right? So if you convert 255 into binary, it is nothing but 8 ones are there. So 8 ones, if you convert into decimal, it is nothing but 255, right? So in that first 24 positions are filled with ones. That means that is not, that those are fixed. Okay, the last one here is 0. That means that is the host part. Other three are network, and the last one is host. What we will see, what is host and what is network in here. Alright, so observe here, very very important. This is subnet IP usage breakdown. This is a breakdown of how subnet mask works. The first is network address. Okay, so imagine it is subnet mask starts from 0 to 255. Okay, 255. If you count from 0 to 255, how many numbers are there? There are 256 numbers. In that total 256 numbers, the first one 0 is nothing but network address. I'm talking about the last octet. Okay, last octet I told you that is changeable. Other three are non-changeable, let's say, because all the three are filled with ones and these are unchangeable. These are network part, let's say. Okay, and host, this is host part. So the last octet, imagine it as imagine it as 192.168.1 are fixed one. Okay, those are 24 octets. Subnet mask means all those are fixed. The last one is changeable. So what it means, the first one .0, it starts from .0 and the last one is 255. So the .0 is known as network address because it identifies the start of the subnet. Okay, 192.168.1 is all fixed, but it is starting from .0. That is known as network address because it is a starting point of the subnet. Okay, the next one is host address. Host address can be anything in between 1 to 254. 255 is the last one, that is for different tasks. Up to 254 you have option, that is from 1 to 254. Alright, so basically how many options you have for host? You have 254. I told you that 0 to 255 total number are 256, but subtract 2 from it. Why? Because 0 is the network address that identifies the starting of the network, and the last one is for broadcasting. Broadcasting in the sense, if you have to send any message in your network, private network, that broadcast gateway is being used. Okay, the last one 255. All the middle ones are the host address. So it can be 1, it can be .1, it can be .2, it can be .254. Okay, so all those are known as host address. The last gate, that is 254, is also known as default gateway. Why default gateway? Because sends data to other network. If I have to send some data to another network, it have to go through this particular default gateway, that is 254. It will go through and it have to do packet forwarding so that it can go to the other network. Okay, I hope you are understanding it. 3 divisions are there, that is network address, host address and default gateway. Network address is the starting one. Host address is your actual network. In what number you will have a specific number. So from 1 to 254 you have choices. The last one, default gateway, it is for 254. 254 is for the sending data to another network. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. So typically one subnet, maximum 254 devices can be used. So that is what I told you, .1 to .254. all right, no need for further segmentation. Okay, if it is a small network. But if it is a large network, imagine it is a large network. So there's a department, HR, sales and guest network. Subnet is being done. So these are 24 subnets. Okay, that means 24 are fixed. The last one is changeable. So here you can see this is .10, .20, .30. These are different divisions, department. Okay, in that .1 to .254 virtual 10 virtual networks are there. So this is one department. So for .20, .1 to .254, these are second department. Third department is 30.1 to 30.254. I hope you have understood this. This is all you require in order to understand subnetting. All right. So the last one, quiz for this particular subnet. So I will be asking you a question, you just pause and answer it, and then you can continue. All right. So what is the technical term for dividing a network into smaller parts? Answer is simple, subnetting, right? How many bits are there in a subnet mask? Simple, 32 bits. What is the range of a subnet octet? 0 to 255. What address identifies the start of a network? Network address. What address identifies device in a network? Host address. What device sends data to another network? Default gateway. All right. So this is it for this video. I hope you have understood all the concepts that I have taught you today, that is router, switches, and subnetting, VLAN, okay, and topologies. So all these concepts are quite important topics for the networking purpose, and see, I am going as in depth as possible. Okay, so around 2-3 more videos are there. In that 2-3 more videos we will be completing the series of networking, and up to this much, if you can see all the videos, your networking is done. You don't need more networking than this in order to start ethical hacking. I can assure you that, I can guarantee you that. All right, I just need your support so that I can make more and more videos. I want to become I want to invest full time in making videos. Just the thing is, you need to show me support so that I can keep making it. It takes lot of time and effort. So I hope you are understanding, and thank you for supporting me. Keep loving, and that's it. We'll meet you in the next video. Thank you. Today I'm back with another video, that is, we will see today what are the types of protocols that are commonly used in the networking term and in the internet usually. All right, so before starting, make sure that you guys do subscribe my channel so that you can follow more quality contents like this. All right, so with that, let's start today's video. So today's topic is nothing but protocols. So in the previous videos, we have already seen what is protocol, or what do you understand by protocol. In simple, protocols are nothing but rules that needs to be followed in the whole internet. The whole internet is running by unknown rules. All right, a common man doesn't know all those rules, but if you are a student of networking, if you are a student of computer science, then you must know how the internet works, what are the rules, what are the protocols that should be used so that you can use the internet safely. All right, with that, let's start with the next slide. So first comes very common protocol that we usually use in our day-to-day life, that is IP Internet Protocol. I have already explained you in the previous videos. If you haven't checked out, check out my previous videos related to this. So what is IP protocol? That is nothing but internet protocol. In each and every device in the internet is defined or identified by a term called IP address. All right, unique ID for devices on a network made of 4 octets. I have already explained you. You can check out private IP and public IP used within local networks. Private IDs will be used and public IP will be used all over the internet. Device in a network share one public IP for internet access. All right, whatever devices you are using, it have a public address, public IP and private IP. All right, it is used to communicate with other user in the internet, as simple as that. Types of IP: IPv4 and IPv6. IPv4 consists of 32-bit, IPv6 consists of 128-bit. IPv4 can hold up to 4.3 billion addresses, that is sort of running out. It has more than 5.5 billions of users are there in the internet, active users. So it is running out of the addresses. That's why we have introduced IPv6. That is nothing but 340 trillion addresses are there. It has lot of addresses, so we can use this IPv6. So new organizations are using slowly and steadily using trying to cope up with IPv6. IPv6 solves shortage and supports future growth. Alright, so that's it about the types of IP. Quick question: what does the term IP stands for? It is nothing but Internet Protocol. Next is what is each section of an IP address called? It is called octet. How many sections does an IPv4 address have? It have 4 sections, right? How does the term MAC stands for? Media Access Control. Alright, so I hope you are clear with this. Next protocol is ping and ICMP protocol. Alright, ping protocol is used to ping is a command that we can use in a normal Linux or command prompt you can take out, or terminal you can take out, and you can use just ping and then one website name. Okay, like let's say www.google.com. then you will receive lot of packets from Google. What does it mean? It means that ping checks the connectivity, how much strong connectivity is there, or can it make a stable connection. Alright, ping command. So ping test connectivity using ICMP echo and reply. Alright, ICMP is a protocol that is used to check. This protocol is being used in order to check the connectivity or in order to echo and reply. Alright, so ICMP protocol is being used. Measure response time, how much response time it is taking, latency between devices. So whenever you are getting packets, you will receive, there will be a time written there in which timestamp you are receiving it, so that you can measure the time. Works on any OS operating system, Windows and Linux. Syntax is nothing but ping, and either you can give it a IP address or either you can give a website name. Alright, so next is example is, you can see ping 8.8.8.8. this is Google DNS server. Basically checks Google DNS server, helps verify if a device or site is reachable and how fast it is. Alright, ping command, and it uses ICMP protocol. I hope you are clear with it. Next, ARP, address resolution protocol, very important. You might not know this protocol, but it is there already in your devices. What it does, ARP connects an IP address to the MAC address. Basically your router is there. ARP protocol, what it will do, it will connect that IP to your MAC address, so that whenever it is sending or receiving the data, it can transfer it to you, that is your MAC address. Helps device identify each other on a local network, very important. So each device keeps an ARP cache. Basically it will have some memory where it will store some cache, already stored memory. It will have some memory with it, so that it can store how many devices are there in my router. Let's say how many devices are connected, and if you are doing communication, it can send in that particular MAC address. Alright, so essential for network communication at the data link layer, that is second layer in OSI model. Alright, I hope it is clear to you. So how does ARP works? Step 1, ARP request. First of all, it will send a request, it will broadcast. I already explained you broadcast in the subnetting also. The last one, that is 255, that particular port or that particular number will be doing broadcast. Alright, that will broadcast to all other IP addresses in that subnet, and it will ask who owns this IP address 192.168.1.1. Then ARP reply will come, that is only the correct device responds with I do. This is my MAC address, and this is my IP address, and this is my MAC address. It will reply with that MAC address. Device saves the mapping and its ARP cache. So whenever it replies, it will save the catch. All right, so that next time when it wants to communicate, it don't have to ask again and again what is your MAC address. All right, ARP is very, very important. So look at here. So first of all, host is there, router is there. It will try to send a message to a particular IP address. So it will ask the router, and then 3, it is broadcasting, so that these devices will all get the message, and then the particular device will say this is my MAC address, and this you can save it as ARP catch. So next time you don't have to ask me again and again. So whenever it wants to communicate, next time it will directly communicate. This is how ARP works. I hope it is clear. Quick question: what does ARP stands for? Address Resolution Protocol. What category of ARP packet asks a device whether or not it has specific IP address? ARP request. What address is used as a physical identifier for a device on a network? Physical device, that is MAC address. What address is used as a logical identifier for a device on a network? It is IP address. All right, that is IP address. All right, I hope you are clear with this. Next protocol, DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. What it does? Assigns IP automatically. The private IP that you are getting in your own device, that is assigned by DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. When a device joins a network, imagine your friend comes to your home and he asks, what is your Wi-Fi password? So he connects to your Wi-Fi. So when he connects, the DHCP protocol will assign a private IP so that he can use that private IP. All right. So next is discover. Device will ask for an IP. DHCP server offers an IP. Then request, device accepts the offer. Then acknowledge, servers confirms, IP is assigned. Alright, so this is how it works. Fast, automated, and widely used in modern networks. Alright, so look at here, a new device will come in the router and it will discover, hey, I am new here, is there anyone who can give me an IP address? Then DHCP will reply, hey, sure thing, you can have this particular IP address. Alright, that is the reason you do not choose your IP address, it is given by your router. DHCP request, yes, that would be brilliant, I will be start using this. And the DHCP request, it will send, and then DHCP will give the acknowledgement, okay, great, you can use the IP address for the next 24 hours. Alright, so this is how DHCP works. Let's have a quick question. What type of DHCP packet is used by a device to retrieve an IP address? What type of packet? It is DHCP discover, the first one. Alright, next, what type of DHCP packet does a device send once it has been offered with an IP address by a DHCP server? It is nothing but DHCP request. Alright, last one, finally, what is the last DHCP packet that is sent to a device from a DHCP server? The last one, DHCP acknowledge. Alright, I hope you are understanding it. Next, a very important again, file transfer protocol. Whenever you are sending any file from your device to any other server, let's say you are uploading some file, you are downloading some file, all those consist of FTP protocol. So it basically uses port number 21. Transfer files between a client and a server. Download, uploads file from a centralized server. Alright, command. So this SFTP is secure FTP. This is what you are doing. This particular user alias @ it is using this particular user to log in into this server. After logging in, you can send the files. Alright, this is a manual way of using command. You can send a file. Alright, but usually what you do it using website. Alright, so file transfer protocol, it uses port number 21. Very important. Next is secure shell. Alright, so you can imagine if there is no website, imagine if there is no WhatsApp, how can you communicate with one another device? You can communicate it using secure shell. Alright, secure shell, that is also known as SSH. Port number is 22. Secure access remote machine via a terminal. You can access someone else also device using this SSH protocol. All right, administrator servers remotely. All right, let's imagine I want to use your device remotely. Then how can I do? Using SSH protocol. All right, command example SSH. You need to know the username. Without knowing the username, you cannot open or you cannot control remotely that device. All right, username @ the particular address, public address. All right, next, hypertext transfer protocol. All right, HTTP. So for this, what do you need to do? It is nothing but serving a web page. All right, transferring web content in a browser. Whenever you access to a browser, it uses hypertext transfer protocol. It is not a secure version, so secure version will be HTTPS. So basically HTTP will do all its work in port number 80. All the text, images, videos, use case browsing website. Command is curl HTTP and the website name. All right, so this you can use it in your terminal in order to open any website. All right, curl command is used. All right, this is for HTTP. Next is HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, secure S. That is the only difference between HTTP and HTTPS is secured. Port number 443. This is one of the most common port that is being used while you use internet. Secure transfer of web content using SSL and /TLS. All these are encryption concepts. All right, encryption, decryption, all this comes under cryptography. All right, use case secure web browsing. Whenever you are doing a web browser, it is you are accessing an HTTPS, that is secure version. Okay, all right, whenever you access HTTP, it is not that secure. They can access your password and encrypt it. All right, so that is the reason they say that always access HTTPS websites. All right, so that is how you do. Command is nothing but HTTPS and the website name. All right, I hope you are understanding. Next one is called SMB, server message block. All right, this uses 445. What is the purpose? Share files and printers across a network. All right, this is used again to send a message block, share files, and using printers you can connect to your device. All right, use case access shared device folder devices. All right, command is, you can check it out for Windows and for Linux. All right, next one, remote desktop protocol, provides graphical remote access to a system. So again, if you want to take control of some other device, you can use this RDP protocol. All right, that is in which port number 3389 protocol provides graphical. SSH does not provide graphical, it is a command line. Okay, this provides graphical. Log into Windows machine remotely. Example, RD desktop 192.168. There are a lot of websites or software that gives you those remote access, but using this directly you can access into another devices. All right, so the last one is simple mail transfer protocol, SMTP, used for sending email from client to server, which port number 25. All right, this is used by all the softwares or the application of email, Gmail, let's say, all those users, port number 25. All right, email delivery. Example, you can see swax is a command that you use at --to user @example.com --server, which server? Your own server, smtp.example.com. all right, these are just a command given so that you understand. You don't need to like use this command right now, so that you just need to understand this so that later you can implement. All right, so with this we are done with the important protocols. All right, till now this much protocol will be enough for you. As we keep going on, we'll be seeing more and more protocols that are required for your ethical hacking journey. Alright, I hope you are enjoying the video. That's it for today, and make sure you do subscribe so that you get access to all the videos and you'll get notification when my video comes. Thank you for supporting. That's it, we'll meet in a new video.
So in this today's video, we are going to see how to secure your system. Basically, we are going to talk about VPN and how firewall works. Alright, so in the coming videos we will see about how proxy chains work, or how IP hopping works. Okay, that are advanced topics. For now, what we are going to look at is basically the conceptual theory of how VPN works and how firewall actually works. All right, so let's start with today's video. So the first objective is understand what VPN, proxies and virtual firewall works. Okay, and then we will learn how they act as digital shields, basically how they protect our system from the whole world of internet. All right, so get introduced to evasion techniques hackers use and build intuition for ethical hacking and defensive strategies. All right, basically overall the how ethical hacking works or how they secure their system, we will see that in this particular series. Okay, so next is ways to secure. For today's video we are going to see about VPN and firewall, how it works. All right, so first is, what do you mean by firewall? So this term particular firewall we have heard somewhere or the other. All right, in school days also we have heard about firewall. So exactly, let us understand what firewall is. A firewall acts as like a border security. For example, there's a traffic police, right? Traffic police, what it does, it checks, it manages the traffic. Whichever vehicle are following the rules, they are allowed to, okay, or follow the path. If someone is not following the rules, they will, traffic police will catch those particular vehicles and they will give some fine on that. All right, that is how the firewall works. What it does is acts like a border security for your network. It protects, it monitors and controls incoming and outgoing traffic based on rules. In simple words, they are a traffic police of the whole internet. Okay, if imagine a internet with no rules. Imagine you are connecting to the internet and lot of random videos or files are just popping up in your system. You wouldn't like that scenario, right? So that is the reason this firewall is present, so that unwanted things or unwanted traffic should not come to our system. All right, so if you see the diagram, it is nothing but wall is there through which our private network can interact with the whole internet. If it is useful to us, it can come to us, or if it is safe, then it would come to us. If it is not safe, then it would, for sure the wall will block the traffic. That is firewall. Okay, the first line of defense in network security. Next, what do they exactly do? That we need to understand. So they inspect packets and make decision based on four things are there basically. First is source. First they need to know where is it actually coming from. Who is the IP address? Who is the owner of that particular sender or the request? Whoever have made the request to our system, who is that particular sender, that you need to find. Destination, where exactly it is going. Okay, so it is a firewall which will check or which will protect. Imagine there are 5 systems connected to my Wi-Fi, so it have to select, it have to know what is the destination, where it wants to go. Okay, next is port. So we have seen that how port are important. Port are basically kind of doors which will have access or which will help to communicate with other system. Okay, that is nothing but port. Next is protocols. Basically protocols are, in simple words, some rules that needs to be followed. There are different rules for different services. All right, so those are called protocols. Next, there are 2 types of firewalls are there. That is very important. We miss this particular concept in our school days or whenever we read about firewall, but today you try to understand these 2 particular types of firewall are there. Basically, one is stateful, one is stateless. All right, so in simple words, what do you mean by stateful and what do you mean by stateless? So stateful, imagine it is a traffic police which stays for the whole day. Okay, it stays for the longer period, let's say. Okay, it knows or you have kept only one traffic one security guard in your house. Basically that security guards will check throughout the days, throughout the weeks, that security will check who is coming and who is going. So basically that person will have the full knowledge of that your house. Okay, so that is how remembers the entire conversation between devices. Okay, it remembers which traffic is coming, which IP address is connecting to your own IP. So it remembers everything. And smarter, better at detecting suspicious behavior. It is a very smart type of firewall that can detect anything almost. Okay, uses more power and processing power. As it is powerful, it will use for sure more memory and processing power. All right. In the other hand, stateless. What is stateless? Imagine a security guard which you are keeping for only 1 hour. 1 hour of particular time you are keeping that security. So will it have the full knowledge of what is going on in the whole day? No, it cannot. So it is like looks at each messages. So basically some packets will come to your own system. So what it will check? It will check whether that system, whether that packet, it will not check about the whole system. It will just check or look at that particular packet and check whether it is good or not, or is it safe or not. If it is safe, then it will leave that packet. Okay, faster, handles large traffic well. Okay, it handles large traffic well, but it is less accurate. Why? Can't detect a complex attacks, as because it doesn't have the full knowledge of your system. What is the ongoing traffic, what is the incoming traffic. Okay, so it does not have the full knowledge of your particular system. Two types of firewalls. Okay, so example, you can see Cisco are there, Fortinet used in enterprises. Okay, big enterprises. Hardware, those are basically hardware. If it comes to software, Snort is there, Windows Defender firewall. When you buy a Windows laptop, it is already there in your PC system. You don't have to download it in a as an other software. Okay, it is already there. Next is home routers. So whatever router you are using in your room, basically it consists of built-in basic firewall. All right, so in this way firewall protects whole your system, and it detects the traffic, and it protects your system from the harmful traffics. Okay, next let's do a quick quiz, that is which layer of the OSI model do firewall operate at. So there are 7 layers. Which layers it operates at? The answer is 3 and 4. That is transport layer and network layer. Okay, in that 2 layer MAC address and IP address works, so that firewall will work in this particular 2 layers. Next, which category of firewall inspects the entire connection? Entire connection. It is none other than stateful. All right, so which category of firewall inspects individual packets? Nothing but stateless. Okay, stateless will check individual packets. Now next go to VPN. Okay, virtual private network. Let us understand. A VPN, virtual private network, creates a secure encrypted tunnel between devices over the internet. Okay, it allows systems on different networks to communicate as if they were on the same private network. All right, so I know a lot of people uses the VPN for a lot of things. I know you are getting it. So, but what exactly is VPN and how does it create the secure network? Let us understand it. All right. So, virtual private network, it creates a kind of tunnel where it can talk securely, okay, or where it can communicate it securely, so that the whole other person other than that tunnel, no one will know what is going on in the tunnel. Okay, example, look at this example. User device is there, VPN client is there. Okay, so what VPN client will be doing is, it will, whatever the packets you are sending, it will go through that VPN client, and then it will kind of encrypt. Okay, so that the whole outer world cannot read or understand it. So it will encrypt, and then it will go through the internet, and then again in the other side also it will create the same thing. Basically VPN server will be there, again it will decrypt, and then it will come, or it will go through that particular destination. Okay, so source and destination, in between there will be a tunnel which will be created by VPN client and VPN server. All right, so that is how it works. If no VPN, means directly you are connecting to the internet service provider, through that directly you are communicating with the internet. Now here, in between you and your service provider, there will be a VPN, which will directly, you cannot directly contact your service provider. VPN will contact to your service provider. Okay, from service provider to, it will go to again VPN, and then it will go to the internet. So there are layers, basically it creates a tunnel. I hope you are understanding it. Next, what are the benefits? What exactly it is used for? So connect remote networks. So basically, in order to connect remote networks, imagine you are here, you have to connect to your friend network. So you can use VPN in order to connect it. Secure link offices or users across location, different location. Privacy encrypts traffic, protects data on public Wi-Fi. Okay, privacy, because of privacy, if you are accessing some websites that are kind of illegal in your countries or in your continent, so you can use VPN to secure, to surf safely, okay, or securely. All right, anonymity. If you want to hide your IP, mask identity from the internet service provider or the tracker, you can use the VPN. All right, bypass censorship. So access restricted content or blocked websites. So let me give you an example. Imagine you are having a, I live in India. So in India, TikTok is banned. Okay, if you have to visit TikTok, then what you can do? You can use VPN so that it uses the, location. It kind of covers, or it creates a tunnel whenever you want to use any kind of websites that is having censorship. You can bypass that censorship. All right, so that is how VPN works. So basically, if you look at here, so if you look at here, I have one VPN that is called Proton VPN. So how it works is, you are not connected to the internet here, it is saying. So once we connect to the internet, I can directly just do quick connect, and it will check for different countries. So here it is connected to Japan. All right, that is how you can connect, and then again you can disconnect. So here you can select the countries also. Okay, so like this you can hide your IP address. Okay, so I'm now disconnecting it. uh, Again, Proton VPN, you can use it uh, if you want. Okay, so I use Proton VPN. Again, it is free of cost. I hope you are understanding how VPN works. Alright, next, where VPN use remote works and enterprise, publicly access Wi-Fi security, anonymous web browsing, accessing region locked content, as I gave you an example of TikTok, secure communication in restrictive regions. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Alright, so now let's see for different technologies, what are technologies used in VPNs. So the first is PPP. That is PPP. This is a technology. What it does is it provides only two things, that is encryption and authentication. Okay, it only does two things, authentication and encryption, used by older VPN protocol. So this technology is used by older VPN protocol, and it only does two things, that is encryption and authentication. Now what is PPTP means? Okay, this is again a technology which creates that tunnel. Okay, so PPP will, what it will do, it will just do encryption and it will do authentication. Okay, it will not travel, it will not take that packet to the another destination. What it will do, PPTP will do what, it will create a tunnel in which that PPP wrapped data, basically whatever your data is traveling, it will be wrapped around that encryption, and then it will have to go through. Okay, that is done in PPTP. Okay, acts as a tunnel that allows PPP encryption data to travel across network over the internet, used to set up, but has weak encryption by modern standards. It is not that difficult encryption. Okay, it has a weak encryption, that is its disadvantage. Now IPSC, encryption and authentication data using the existing IP framework. So it will use the IP level framework, and it will do encryption and authentication. It also does, it has strong encryption. Okay, IPsec has strong encryption, secure, widely supported, offers strong security, but the thing is it is little complex to configure. Okay, that is the disadvantage of it. It is good, but it is little difficult to configure. Now next is OpenVPN. Next, OpenVPN is kind of good, open source, secure, commonly used today. Whatever VPN we are using, it is mostly OpenVPN. Next is WireGuard, again modern, lightweight, very fast and secure. These are the types of VPN that you need to understand. Alright, so just know that this kind of VPN technologies exist and which one is better, which one is not, okay, for the sake of understanding. Next, some quiz on VPN. Which VPN technology only encrypts and provides the authentication of data? So we have seen which technology, it is PPP. Alright, next is what VPN technology uses the IP framework? IPSEC. Okay, IPSEC uses the IP framework. So these are some important questions that you can get from the VPN. Alright, so I hope you have understood this today's concept on VPN and firewall. Okay, in the coming videos, not now exactly, but once we start scanning and all, we will start with the proxy chains, we will start with IP hopping, how you can protect your IP so that other people cannot find you scanning their websites and all. We will see all those, but once we have to start the ethical hacking syllabus. Alright, now we are in networking, we are almost done. I will be taking 2-3 more videos in order to complete this. Alright, so if you are watching this, thank you for being in this video. And then I have taken a lot of gap in between because I was busy a bit. So again, from now onwards, I will start continuing this video, and thank you so much for your love, and do not forget to subscribe this video. Thank you. Today I'm back with one video, that is how the web works. Alright, so this is going to be the last video of this particular series of networking. After that, I'm going to start with cryptography, and then we will continue with ethical hacking. Alright, so this is going to be one of the most interesting topic again, and lot of in-depth topic we will be discussing, and we will understand few terms or terminology that are important in web. Alright, as because for understanding the ethical hacking, we need to understand about the how web pages work, how web application works, how application works. Alright, without understanding the framework of how web pages work, we can't proceed forward with the ethical hacking. Alright, that is a very important aspect in order to understand cybersecurity. Alright, so let us start today's video. How the web works. So first comes DNS. What do you mean by DNS? It is simply domain name system. What do you understand by domain name system? It translates domain names. Imagine I tell you that you have to remember 10 websites name in the format of numbers. Imagine it is 104.26.10.229. Similarly, like this, 10 more web pages you need to remember. Would you remember that? No, after a point, human brain has a limit, right? After a certain point, you can't remember all the numbers. That is the reason this particular concept has been introduced, where it says that you don't need to remember numbers. Numbers are difficult to remember, but what you can do is you can remember a name, okay, a particular name that you can relate to it or map to that particular IP address. Okay, just like a phone book, you don't remember all people's phone number. What you do, you just remember the person's name. That is nothing but domain name system. Alright, like a phone book for the internet, makes browsing easy. Of course, google.com, we don't know what Google's IP is, but we know how google.com works. Okay, just go to Google and type google.com. That's simple, right? If I have to tell you that you have to type 8.8.8.8, you would be confused, right? How to exactly remember all those numbers. So no need to memorize complex numbers. That is the number one point. Every device on the internet has a unique IP address. So that is very important point again. Every website that you see on the internet has a unique address. If two are having the common address, then obviously it will be confused. It is not possible again. Two person can have same name, but two websites, it is different. It cannot be same having the same name. Why? Because it will collide. Okay. Whenever user goes to some websites, they would want it to be unique. Okay, that's the reason they have introduced domain name system. That is the reason we buy our domain. If you have to start your company, you have to buy a domain name system. All right, that should be unique. That should be referring to your website. I hope it is clear to you. Next comes domain hierarchy. All right, so we understood how domain name systems works, but it has a hierarchy. What are the hierarchy? First comes root domain. Root domain connects two things, that it's top level domain and second level domain. What is top level domain and what is second level domain? Let's understand. In top level domain, you can see the blue colors are all top level domains. Means what? The rightmost section of the domain. That is, it consists of, let's say, edu, let's say .com, .gov, .mil. All this what represents some kind of organization. Okay, whether it's commercial, whether it's education, whether it's government, so whether it is military, all this represents some kind of organization. All right, that is what top level domain means. But the second level domain, what it requires, what it signifies the name of that particular organization. Okay, example, MIT, Zenkaya, Google, USA, NASA, Army, all these are what? Second level domain. Okay, that is MIT.com, you can search, MIT.edu, you can search. All right, it simply means domain hierarchy. This is the hierarchy that you need to remember. Next, understanding domain structure. Okay, TLD, top level domain, that we have already read. Next is rightmost part of the domain, we have already seen. Next, types. What are the types of two types are there of top level domain? First is GTLD, that is generic top level domain. Second is CC, that is country specific. Okay, you must have seen that if I live in India, so if you have to buy a domain of specifically India, if you have to specify, then just you can do zenkaya.in. okay, like that. Many websites are having .in. okay, that signifies the country. Like that, simply all the countries are having their own specific country specific top level domain that you can buy it. Okay, now includes new ones like .club, .online, .biz, .ai. So all these are what? New kind of top level domain that are adding. Okay, that specifically signifies what the website is all about. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now DNS record types. So whenever, what exactly DNS, what kind of information it stores? Ultimately everything is information, right? And ultimately the whole internet that you can see is information. So what kind of information does DNS store? DNS stores, right? Let's check it out. So there are basically, you can say basic to basic 5 types are there. What are those? First is A type. Okay, what are A type? A is nothing but it maps the IP address. Each and every website will have IP address that will be mapped with A type. Okay, that is known as A type. Next is 4 A's are there. What is that represents? That maps to the IPv6. As I told you in the previous classes, what are IPv4, IPv6. So it will 4 A's will store what? IPv6 of each and every website. Okay, CNAME. What is CNAME? It consists of kind of subdomains. Imagine you are having one domain. Inside that subdomains are there. In order to all connect, those CNAME consists of all those data of what kind of subdomains you are having. Alright. So next is MX, mail server for domain. Imagine you are having a company and you are having a specific mail server, so that when the main server goes down, that then also mail server should work, right? That is the reason MX will store the mail server. All right, last one is TXT, wholesome data. Okay, kind of metadata that gives some information about the whole website. Okay, I hope you are understanding this DNS record type. If you are going into ethical hacking, you need to understand this whole DNS type. It is very important information. All right, I hope you have understood. Next, how does DNS resolution works? This is a very important topic. Understand it carefully. All right, when you search something in the internet, what exactly happens? Okay, when you search something in the internet, in simple lame words, what I would say is, imagine you are going to a Google and searching one website for the first time. Okay, for the first time, then it would have no clue. Okay, your local server, first it will check local cache check. Local cache, it will check first. The device check, if domain was recently resolved. Okay, it will check your kind of device cache, whether you have already searched that. If you have already searched that, it will take the same cache and it will reply you the domain or whatever the data is stored in that particular, from that particular website. It will be stored temporarily. That stored data will be returned you back. All right, that is how local cache works. Next, recursive DNS query. Now, when it does not find it in your own device, what it goes, where it goes to the ISP, internet service provider. Okay, it goes to the ISP and checks whether it is already there. Okay, whether if your cache doesn't work, ISP cache, it will try to search whether you have or someone have already searched that particular website. Okay, if they are having that information, they will send you directly from the ISP. All right, I hope you are understanding. Next is root DNS server. If it does not find in the ISP, internet service provider, then it will go to the root DNS server. That is the, basically imagine GoDaddy. Okay, it is a kind of domain, it sells domain. So it will go to that kind of root DNS server, from exactly where all the DNS are stored. It will go to that root and then it will ask, I don't have this domain name system, can you just give me that? Okay, so now it will send you that particular data of whatever data are stored in that DNS. It will be sending you in that IP address. Okay, TLD server points to the domain authoritative name server. Okay, again that root domain will send it to the authoritative TLD. Which one? Like authoritative name server, whether it's .com, .edu, .military. Okay, it will check which one you are searching for. Accordingly, it will send your request to that particular domain. After that, authoritative name server returns the actual DNS records. Once you go or once you reach to that particular name server basically, it will send you the actual data. Imagine .edu, okay, or .com. It will go to that .com name server and then it will send you that particular data. After that, it will get stored in the recursive server cache, and then again from that particular cache it will send you to your devices. Okay, so that is how it works. It directly doesn't go to the server without checking your own caches. Okay, that is what the main important point is. If you check the diagram, it is first you search from your laptop, after that it goes to the recursive DNS server. Okay, that is your ISP, let's say internet service provider. After that it goes to the root DNS server, that is domain name system, the domain server, the actual server from where all the domains are created. Okay, next is authoritative. Next, if it finds out there, then it will find out whether it's .com, .edu or .military. From there it will send it to authoritative. Okay, next from there it will again come to your recursive. After that again it will come to your device. That is how the whole DNS system works. I hope you have understood. Okay, this, just visualize this. It is very simple to understand. Next, we have understood about DNS. Next, let's understand about HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, those both are protocol. We have already understood about HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol. HTTP is just kind of secure version. Okay, developed by Tim Berners-Lee in 1989 to 1991. Set of rules for loading websites. Okay, HTML images, videos, then data is sent in plain text. Okay, I hope you guys already know this. Secure version of just using encryption. Okay, secure version just uses the encryption, that is SSL or TLS. We will see about this kind of encryption methods, okay, in the later videos. Ensures data privacy, authenticity and integrity. These three CIA triad. Okay, we have already seen in the previous videos. Prevents eavesdrops and fake websites. Okay, how do you know whether it's a fake or real website? They are securing it. Okay, HTTPS protocol secures that you are going to the right website. All right. Next, what is URL? URL is nothing but a uniform resource locator. What it tells the browser how and where to fetch resources like HTML, images, etc. Okay, Google X an address plus instruction for accessing anything on the internet. Yes, every time you visit a website, your browser follows a URL. Okay, so let's say when I click on here ChatGPT, it will follow one. See, it will follow one URL. Okay, this is the URL it is going. Okay, any website, you can say Amazon, so it will follow one URL. Okay, this is the URL. Basically it's saying HTTPS, then www.amazon.in, then you go to ap. Then you go to signing page. Okay, there are different pages, so basically it shows where is the locating, where it is located. Okay, that is what it shows by URL. I hope you have understood. Next, that's it. Some common HTTP methods. So basically, if you overall see this particular HTTP methods, you will get four things: get, post, put and delete. Okay, if you are into web development, you would know this particular methods. These are the four important methods. There are other methods also, but these are the most common methods: get, post, put and delete. Okay, in simple word, it is a CRUD operation. CRUD means create, read, update and delete. Okay, the whole Instagram, if you see, these are the four things that you do. Whether you create a post, whether you read the reels or read the information, or whether you update your information like bio, date of birth, all those are updating, and delete some photos, let's say. So basically these are the four operations that you do in any websites. Okay, that's what these methods are: get, post, put, delete. Okay, I hope you are understanding this. Next, so some status code are also there. Okay, some kind of codes are there that represents what exactly is the status code. These are known as status codes. Okay, example 100 to 1999 informational. Okay, some kind of information it will receive. 400 to 499 client errors. So you might have seen 404 errors. So all those are what types of errors. So whatever errors are there, it will come inside this status code. 400 to 499, 500 to 599, all these are server errors. Client errors, server errors. Okay, client is we, servers are they, whoever is providing us the information. Okay, so these are different status code that you can just see and read. Okay, next, again, these are popular status code that you might have already seen or have gone through during browsing. Okay, the most common are 404 not found, 200 200. Whenever some website you access and you get the thing, it will show you 200. Okay, basically 200 means request successful. 400 bad request, unauthorized. If you are logging in without directly just viewing it without logging in, unauthorized, forbidden. So there are different status code that represents the different status of the websites. Okay, you have to just read it, go through it, and you would understand what it exactly means. All right, next, request header. So there are two things, basically: request and response. Okay, whenever you send some request, whenever you are typing, let's say google.com, you are sending some request to the Google server. Whenever it is you are getting some kind of response, it is nothing but response. Okay, it consists of header. What does this header means? So we'll see. I'll just show you with an example. Imagine I am going here as an I'm taking out inspect, and we will try to inspect. I am typing here hacker rank. Okay, just hacker rank I'm typing here, and I am analyzing the network. Okay, so these are the network. Okay, let me again do. So see, we are requesting. There are a lot of requests going from my system. Okay, you can just go through it, any of the webs requests, let's say this one. Okay, so and you can see the response here, or this is, let's say, this one, or any other. Let me take. Okay, so you can see response. So this response will also have some kind of information with it. Okay, that is nothing but response header, and again it will also have request header also. Okay, so it will again different versions, different information will be there. So all these are nothing but request and response. Whenever you request something, it will go as a request header, and whenever you are getting request, it will again some information will be there along with it. Okay. Sorry, so look at this. There are different information like host specifies the domain requested, what exactly you have requested. Okay, use for server hosting multiple websites. A user as an identifies the client, browser and version, which exactly kind of browser you are using and version you are using. It will identify content length, how much length is your content. Okay, it will show you different information. I hope you are understanding. This is quite understandable. Except encoding, cookies. Okay, short term kind of information that is being saved in your system. All right, so now as request, we know like that response will also be there. Whenever you are putting some request, it will give some response if it is valid. So again some kind of response will be there, like set cookie, cache control, content type, encoding. Basically what it will do is, it will you are sending a packet that is basically a request, and it will again send you the packets. So that packet send will be received by the browser, and then the browser will run all those code. Okay, whether it be HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, that will be run by browser. That is not running it in the server. That is, server is just sending you the packets, then your browser is running all those codes. Okay, I hope you are understanding it. Next, what are cookies? Cookies are small pieces of data stored on your computer. Basically, whenever you imagine you are ordering something, or you are logging into some websites, so all those websites are saved in cookies, so that you don't have to remember again and again. Okay, it is a kind of it is stored in your system only. All right, whenever you are putting some things in your cart in Amazon website, all those are stored in cache. Okay, those are temporary storage that helps to remember things, so that it does not have to be saved in the server. All right, so cookies are small pieces of data stored on your computer. On future request, your browser sends the cookies back to the server using the cookie header. Okay, since HTTP is stateless means not stateful, it is stateless. Stateless means it just remembers the temporary, not the whole thing. It just will remember what request you have sent. According to the request, it will act. Okay, it does not have the full knowledge of what you are doing it in the past. Okay, that is what it means by stateless. Most authentication system use secure unique tokens and cookies, not root credential. Okay, they are secured. How to view cookies? So basically you can view cookies by going in here. So if you are going in here, let's say google.com, I'm searching, and then I'll go here, let's say. Okay, so we are requesting different things. So you can see these cookies and all those are stored. Okay, all these are stored. Let's say any kind of password, you can check it out. All right, this is where you will find the cookies. So I hope you have understood Next, how website works. When you visit a website, your browser sends a request. So request will be sent to a server, and then server will send you some packets. From that packets, it will again store it in your computer, and then your browser will run those code, and then you can see it. Okay, it happens so fast that we don't feel that it is running it on our own computer. We might feel that it is running in the server's computer. Asking for data to display the page. Now website component, there are three components are there. Two components are there: backend and frontend. Obviously frontend means client side, our own side. Backend means server side. Okay, what you see in the browser, whatever you can see in as a front end, it is all like HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Okay, backend means all the database that we can't see. Okay, you can't see the Amazon's database, we just can see the front end part. That is what in short, browser sends request, servers process it, response send, and then browser will display the page. Okay, this is how website works. Now, building blocks of website, three things are there: HTML, CSS and JavaScript. I'm sure you know it. HTML defines the structure, what kind of structure, heading, paragraphs, images. CSS will add some style to it. Okay, some kind of styling, layout, color, size, all those will be done in CSS. Next is JavaScript, enables interactive kind of dynamic inputs will be there. Okay, dynamic features will be there. Imagine a fan is there, fan needs to run, right? That is can be done by JavaScript. Okay, it adds the dynamic nature on the website. Alright, now sensitive data exposure. When you are not making a website in a correct way, let's say, so if you are not aware of all the ethical hacking things, then people might misuse that information. Okay, example, reveals sensitive information often in the front end code. Okay, that is known as again HTML injection, SQL injection, that you might have heard of. How it happens: developer might forget to remove hard-coded login credentials. You might forget the credentials in the code itself, then they might steal it, right? So that is very risky. Hidden links to admin, some kind of links might be there. Debugging comments or sensitive tokens. All right, so these are the things that you have to be very careful while you are doing it or writing a code, that no one gets the information, otherwise they would get the information. Why it's risky? Exposed data in page source. So whenever you are getting something, some data response, you will be seeing a page source. In that you can see it. Okay, if your website is not fully built properly, here you can't read much. Alright, that is quite secure. But the normal website, if you are visiting, let's say, HackerRank, okay, so if you view the page source, then you would get the how it is working. All right, so you might miss some kind of information here that is again secret. Okay, so that is very risky. You have to make your website very secure one. So that is what it is saying here. Can lead to unauthorized access, privilege escalation or deeper attacks. All right, so you have to be very careful. Again, HTML injection that I was talking about, a failure to sensitize user input. So imagine you have to log in. Instead of login, what I'm writing is I'm writing some kind of HTML code. Using that HTML code, I can manipulate some kind of backend. All right, that is what HTML injection means, or at least the front end part, if I can manipulate. That is nothing but HTML injection. That should not happen. Okay, it should have the sanitized, okay, unsanitized user input. So basically you should be knowing how to filter it out. May lead to further attacks, stealing data or misleading usage. Use protection, always sanitize and validate user input. Okay, that you need to know, otherwise there's always a risk that they can steal or they can manipulate the data. All right, so this is the whole part of today, how the web works. I hope you have understood, and I would appreciate you guys that many people have commented that to make the regular videos, and I am very happy that you guys are following it, and I'm very thankful to you. All right, so it feels great that I'm in right now, I'm in Kerala, The weather is nice that you can see behind me. All right, so it feels great. And the journey, and I always talk about this journey. The journey is important. The goal is not to reach somewhere. The goal is to enjoy while going it. All right, so join this community and let's do something big. Let's dream something big. At the end, it is all about dreams, what you want to achieve, right? So I will be trying to upload as much as video as I can. Just keep supporting me and share it to the friends, those who really need it. All right, thank you, and don't forget to subscribe.